collaborate with experts in a wide range of health disciplines, including physical therapists and specialist physicians, referring patients as needed to ensure the most effective care possible. So how about a second opinion on your health? You might just end up feeling like yourself again. Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161, or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now get the 2023 Nissan Rogue with best-in-class fuel economy among gas engines. Availability is limited. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. Auto Pacific segmentation, excluding hybrids and electric vehicles. 2023 EPA fuel economy estimates from 28 city 34 highway to 30 city 37 highway for 2023 Nissan Rogue. As shown, Nissan Rogue Platinum all-wheel drive, 28 city 34 highway. Actual mileage may vary.
Time for some smart saving. Put money aside, not your child's future education.
I'm Arizona State Treasurer Kimberly Yee. The sooner you start an AZ 529 education savings plan, the more money you'll have when your little one graduates high school. Invest just $15 a month and you could have thousands of dollars saved for their education needs. Go to az529.gov so when it's time to achieve their dreams, they can.
Now that's smart saving. Sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fallon Hills at 95.9 FM.
Live from the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
People settle down because it's time
for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Thursday. You've got 4 shopping days remaining, 4 until Christmas. And we're broadcasting live in the Harman Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale at the world headquarters of CRC Broadcasting. My name is Randy White, right over there. That is the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. That's Keon Rose. Well, looky there. It's Ralph Cutlets. He's joined us on the show. Hello. And you are the fourth dimension, texting in on our text line at 888-368-1580. This is a Thursday edition, which means we're talking almost all football today. I don't know what's wrong with my sorry, guys. There's something in my frog maybe in my throat here. I don't know. Anyway, it's good to have you guys with us. Hey, Ralph, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You?
I'm doing good.
I don't hear Ralph.
You don't hear me?
Ralph's not coming through the line here. Maybe he's doing a mime today. Are you doing a mime today, Ralph?
I am.
You're stuck in like a glass cage. Is that what you're trying to tell me now?
Yeah.
All right.
I see Jeffrey on the other side. It's really scary.
No.
He's like an ugly mermaid. It's really weird.
Well, they knew you went there.
Yeah.
We were all laughing along with you, and then you're like, oh.
Could be good. Could be bad.
It's bad. It's bad. Trust me. Those
It's
coconut
bad.
shells
Okay.
cover nothing.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, in case you're wondering, Jeffrey O'Brien is on assignment and will be returning next week. Got a lot to talk about today. In the 5 o'clock hour from 5 to 5:30, the Fantasy Girl will be joining us to answer your fantasy football questions. Of course, Ralph is here to give us his take on pretty much everything we talk about. And let's see, we'll do our Harman Solar Pick'em Picks in the 4 o'clock hour. And I don't know. I mean, lots happening today. I didn't know if I wanted to go baseball today or not. Do you see the new baseball rules that were released today by Drunky Drunk and his henchmen?
I have not.
They're gonna do some adjustments to the pitch clock because the games are still taking too long. They're also going to eliminate one mound visit per game. They're saying on average there was only 3 point something mound visits per game of all the games in Major League Baseball. So they don't need to have a fifth mound visit. So they're going to eliminate one now and just keep it at 4.
Okay.
Excuse me. With runners on base, there's trimming 2 seconds off the pitch clock. And they are widening the lane, the runner's lane between home and first. Once again, baseball players have wanted that. They have wanted to have a wider lane to protect the players, and that's everybody involved, defensive players as well as the battered runner that is running down the lane. So personally, I think they need to widen the lane going into home plate, but hey, who am I? I'm just a fan. I just see people get crushed at home plate all the time. So I don't know. There was that. What do you think about that, Ralph? Just on hearing those first few little facts.
I mean, the widening of the lane, that sounds good. I don't have a problem with that. The mound visits, yeah, whatever. That's fine too. The pitch clock, I don't understand that. I think that's a little stupid. How fast do you want this game to be?
I don't know. I mean, Drunky Drunk's got it somewhere in his mind that these games should be like an hour and a half or something. But he's a lawyer, not a ball player. So, what are you going to do?
I'm not a ball player, but like I love the game, and nobody that's ever liked watching baseball has ever complained that there was too much baseball. I just don't understand. He's just got this obsession. Like by the time we get to like 3 years from now, pitch clock's going to be like a 5-second thing. This is not going to shorten the game enough.
No,
I mean, the pitch clock itself, I don't think I anticipated how it kind of adds a rhythm to the game. So I don't mind that it's here, but it's not that it's making the game faster. Like that's not the part that I like about it. It's like there's a flow to it now. Taking 2 more seconds off the clock if there's a runner on base does what exactly?
Well, and they've already eliminated continuous throwovers to the bag to try to hold the runner closer to the base to try to keep the runner from stealing bases. Manfred doesn't want to see that. Manfred wants to see some stolen bases. He wants to see back in the days of Ricky and Vince Coleman and some of these guys, Ozzie Smith, some of these base stealers. He wants to see that action again. He wants to see more activity on the base path rather than a stagnant long game that, quite honestly, younger people don't want to see. They don't want to sit to. They want to go to the ballpark. They want to have a beer and a dog, and they want to go in, and about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, they want to be leaving because you can't keep them. You can't keep their attention for longer than that.
Well, then they can leave.
I think that's fine too. Honestly, I don't know that there's any person who's a young person that thinks baseball is boring. And then Rob Manfred does all of this stuff to the rules and to the pitch clock. And now the game is 45 minutes faster. Like to them, that's probably still too long. So you're not making them happier. You're just making everyone else mad.
Well, I think what he's trying to do, honestly, is just screw the game up, which he's doing a good job of.
Fantastically, yeah.
He's just he's creating an advantage for the hitters is what he's trying to do. He's trying to rush these pitchers. And we're starting to see it even in college now. The coaches are actually getting onto the pitchers about being faster with their rhythms and going quicker. And there's some guys that just don't work that way. They take longer, and that's okay. Yep. They're taking away the game inside the game. And I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that he's giving more of an advantage to hitters and base runners. It seems like what Manfred's trying to do is make the game more exciting, more offense, more scoring, more base running, more activities by getting rid of the shift. He's trying to add more base hits and line drives and gap hit balls and take away the defensive part of baseball to make it a more moving game rather than a pitcher's duel. What he doesn't want to see is two pitchers out there battling to a 1-0, end of the game after 15 innings. He doesn't want to see that. He hates that kind of baseball.
Which is insane because those are some of the best games I've ever seen. It's just two guys going out there and no one's hit the ball in like 6 innings, but they're just ripping it and they're going through these lineups. They're mowing everybody down. You can't tell me that's not fun if you actually like baseball. And also, he wants the Ricky Henderson style stuff back, except Ricky Henderson was awesome. That's why he was able to do what he did. And maybe if you invest more money in the lower levels of this sport where kids are playing and just learning the game, and you start teaching them the techniques and start teaching them the basics that they need, they'll be better hitters, they'll be better base runners. And oh, look, you don't have to change any rules, and the game got better.
Yeah, I agree with that 110%. If you start with the foundation of baseball, and that's the small ball, that's the kids from all over, from not just the urban areas of the cities, but you get down into the inner cities and get some of these kids that are going to play basketball maybe or football instead of baseball because they don't like baseball, and you start showing them the basics of baseball and stealing bases and these crazy diving catches and these athletic type of plays by baseball players, maybe they'll get interested again. But see, the problem is baseball they didn't do that. They haven't done that. They're trying to mess with Major League Baseball at the top level and with the minor leagues. And he's not doing anything about the foundations of baseball. And that's kids everywhere. You get kids involved, you get them interested in the game, you show them how to play the game and how fun the game is, then kids will start playing the game. And maybe there'll be some sort of competition for kids instead of having them go play in the NBA or go play in the NFL. I mean, for me, it's that simple. You start these programs, you start these opportunities for kids, especially in the inner cities who don't have the available funds and resources given to some of these other kids. And it's all about club ball and everything. Now get rid of that, man. Start building up Little League again and get it everywhere and start, getting the kids interested in the game of baseball again.
It really is that simple, but you tell that to a guy like Rob Manfred, who knows what he's liable to think. It just
he pour himself another fifth of bourbon and I don't know, belch and pontificate on why that would not work. I have no idea. 888-368-1580 is the text line, and Mr. Wilbur is on the text line here. First off, Berg says, Randy, you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm all right. Give the pitcher 2 balls, and on the first pitch, if the batter doesn't swing, the pitcher has 5 seconds to jump back on the mound again and throw another one back to home plate. That'll speed things up.
No. That's terrible.
I think that's Mr. Wilbur. I think that's one of the most horrible ideas I've ever.
Yeah, that's just a bad idea.
The pitcher 2 balls, and then jump back. No. Let's see here. Swazman says, "Hey Randy, is Keon getting ready to win the consolation bracket of League 2 fantasy football? His team is getting tough at the right time. Haha. I am in the semifinals against Fubar. If Keon got Christian McCaffrey on the first pick, he would be in the championship game, I'm sure." Is Swazman throwing shade at you? Is that what he's doing?
It's weird. There's a combination of compliments in there and also insults. Not sure exactly how to feel about it, but I do feel that way about Christian McCaffrey, except, I was working during my draft, so sometimes things happen.
All kinds of excuses, isn't there, Keon?
Yeah, no, because we did the draft party and then everybody else got to stay at the Dave and Buster's. I got to run my happy ass out to the car, speed all the way over here, and then start running the board for a high school football game. And I had to answer phone calls to the producers of that to set everything up in the middle of the draft. So I missed some picks.
Damn.
So what you're saying is Jeffrey screwed you. Because that's what I'm hearing.
I mean, the short answer is yes.
Okay, I just wanted you to admit it because that's all I heard.
Jeffrey screwed you.
It sounded like he did.
I don't know if I can agree with that, but okay.
But it is what it is. It's just like, no, we moved the draft and it was this convenient time for everybody but me. And I don't get to say anything because I'm an employee.
Yeah.
Did you have the first overall pick in your draft?
I did not.
So
I had the third pick.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't there a way to set up your picks ahead of time? You can put in a box or check something where you can. I want it with my first pick. I want to do this.
I couldn't because I had to wait for the draft to actually start. And then when I got in, I didn't have the time to set it up because I had to do my job.
Yeah, I don't know. I was too busy drafting. I don't know.
Well, you didn't even have to draft. That's the thing. The Premier League draft was the next day.
Yeah, I was
My
too busy.
draft needed to be the next day.
I mean, this
I
is
think I
very
was
obvious.
drinking an
Just-
icy cold beer.
Very,
at the time.
very obvious what's happening.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
Swazman
not bitter at
says-
all.
Swazman says he got Cooper Cup in the auto draft. Yeah, I know.
And I was mad then, and I'm still mad.
You're still mad.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
Cooper Cup, man.
And he was injured for 10 games this year.
Sorry.
He wasn't ready to start the year, and then he was just bad for 4 games, and then he missed 2.
Mr. Wilbur says I nominate Keon for comeback player of the year in fantasy football.
Well,
For next year?
maybe next year. You can't come back and not make the playoffs. That those two things don't
Yeah.
really. It's not
What happens
compatible.
next year if he comes back to the Premier League, which he is, and then he's the lowest guy on the?
And I'm back out.
Is he back out? You're back out
Yeah,
again.
grand opening, grand closing.
Oh,
You know.
my God.
Because everybody made the playoffs this year. Like I made it, Randy made it, Jeffrey made
Yeah.
it, right?
I don't know if Rosalie made it.
Rosalie didn't.
Rosalie didn't make it, and you didn't make it.
Mm-mm. Well, he wasn't in the Premier League. I made it. I'm in.
So, Randy, are you the one giving fantasy advice today?
No. Rosalie will be with us in the
Oh.
5 o'clock hour.
I thought it was you.
No, not
Rosalie, who had to choose between traveling in Italy and doing her draft, chose Italy, and I think that's fair.
All right. 888-368-1580. That's text line. And this is a Thursday version of the Daily Blender. Here we go again. I don't know if you guys saw anything about this, but apparently, according to a report out today, kicking balls, you know how the NFL has like regular game balls and then they have like special kicking balls that they use. According to a report, the Chiefs and Patriots game, apparently all of the kicking balls were not inflated to the correct poundage of the kicking balls they were supposed to be. Certain footballs during the Chiefs' 27-17 win over the New England Patriots were underinflated by 2 pounds.
Oh my God.
Whose balls were they?
The officials reportedly discovered the balls weighed 11 pounds per square inch. NFL states balls must be inflated between 12 and a half and 13 and a half PSI. And the Patriots told the refs they were a little underinflated or they felt that way at halftime. And they confirmed and obviously put air in the kicking balls. It's unclear specifically if the underinflated balls had a direct impact on the game, but both Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker, thank you, he's on my team, and Patriots kicker Chad Ryland missed field goals in the first half.
Because of the balls.
Underinflated balls.
That'll make, yeah, I can see that.
You know, when you get to be my age, I'm not going to.
Don't go there.
Why does this sort of thing seem to follow the New England Patriots around?
Well,
Can you answer that for me?
they
Why does this
Because they
seem
cheat.
to follow?
it seems to follow Bill Belichick around.
Uh-huh.
And Bill Belichick will do anything to win, even if the rules don't say you can do that.
So it's similar to an incident, of course, we all remember at Gillette Stadium about 10 years or so ago, the Deflategate. When and we don't like to talk about this when Jeffrey's here because it greatly impacted his game against the Patriots by his beloved Colts. But this was a Chiefs game, and I don't know what to think about this. And there's other reports that there are teams out there like the Los Angeles Chargers that might be looking for the services of one Bill Belichick to come to their team. You think it follows Bill Belichick, or does it stay in New England?
I think we'll finally find out for sure, but I think it follows Bill. Bill's got more control than any head coach in the league.
Didn't seem to follow Tom Brady when he left, right? I mean, Tampa Bay was never indicted on any sort of Deflategate or anything, right?
Yeah, because of course, if we had just Deflategate, then you know it might be hard to figure out what's what. But you have Deflategate and you have Spygate with just the Patriots, and so like that seems to be something coming from the top, especially when we're spying on people with cameras trying to steal their plays. That seems more like a top-down thing, which is why I'm more inclined to believe Bill Belichick, the guy who has the most power in the building for anybody not named Robert Kraft.
All right. Well, I guess that's something for everybody to ponder there in the fourth dimension. 888-368-1580, the text line. It is open and it's humming along here. When we come back, we continue to talk more from the world of sports, specifically LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. What did LeBron have to say about that? They lost again last night. Ralph?
Are you really saying that right now?
The
way your Suns are playing? Well.
Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Take the guesswork out of your holiday gifts. OmahaSteaks.com for 50% off site-wide and save an additional $30 with promo code VSIN. OmahaSteaks.com.
NFL Thursday Night Football tonight. The Rams hosting the New Orleans Saints. Both teams at 7-7. The Rams have won 4 of their last 5. The Saints have won back-to-back games. The Rams are a 3.5-point home favorite, minus 210, while the Saints are plus 176. The over-under is at 45.5. The Arizona Cardinals are on the road Sunday, taking on the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. Arizona, a 4.5-point underdog, plus 176 on the money line. The Bears at minus 210 with an over-under at 43. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more, up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Yeah, you're right, Matthew, from Sun City. Major League Baseball has been pushing for the home run is everything kind of scenario for many decades. That's why he stopped watching baseball. I do like the speed up in the game by limiting the amount of time the pitcher can stand up there scratching his, and whatever the hell he's doing. I love back in the day, Louis Aparicio and Nellie Fox. They led the league 1 year, as I recall, in double plays. And Louis was always right up there in the stolen bases. Let the league, I believe, let the league, I believe, grow as it needs to. They were a lot of fun to watch. They were a circus to watch back in the day. So thank you, Matthew, from Sun City, for texting in on our text line at 888-368-1580. This is the Daily Blender as we're rolling through a Thursday. Remember, at 5 o'clock, Rosalie Michaels, the fantasy girl, will be on the line to help you with your fantasy football picks. We're in the playoff phase now, most of us are in the playoffs. Some of us are in the consolation round. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Jeffrey's in the consolation round now after last week.
Wow. Who beat him again?
He's present.
Baker's Cocky Hens on the text line says, what's your favorite cheese, Keon? I hope this happens next year and Jeffrey switches Premier League draft to the same day. We'll have cheese ready to go with all that wine, Keon. Oh, boy.
Wow.
Oh boy.
My favorite cheese is pepper jack. And look, I was asked my thoughts on how I got where I got. That's my answer. And these are facts. I was trying to do a job and draft. Most of you were just drafting.
Swazman apparently letting us know that he once went 16-0 off of auto draft. I had Carson Palmer and Adrian Peterson as my 2 lock and load starts. So it can happen off of an auto draft.
Yeah. Key word there being Adrian Peterson. I didn't draft him. So prime Adrian Peterson. I mean, yeah, that'll do it. What are you getting, like 30 points a week?
Mars Bars 805. Happy Thirsty Thursday, guys. It sounds like Keon took it for the team. Ha ha! Go Raiders!
Unfortunately, yes, but go Raiders.
Pull the plug. Computer for balls and strikes. Umpires vary too much.
I mean, I would welcome that change faster than any of the other changes, because at least you're just trying to make the calls precise, but we're still trying to make this game baseball. What do you do when the commissioner of your league doesn't like the sport that he's the commissioner of? Because this is what it feels like. He's just trying to turn baseball into not baseball. I don't know what it is, but it's every decision just seems to be the decision of somebody who hates the game.
I'm telling you, it's all about offense. He wants nothing but scoring and action. He doesn't want a no-hit shutouts or perfect games. He doesn't want that. What he wants is action. He wants to see balls flying all over the park and guys on bases and stealing bases. And he's given every opportunity for the offense to score runs and to put runners into scoring position and to make this game a very active game. And baseball, by its very by what it is not a very active game. Why do we have fences then? Just take the fences out. Take the fences out.
You know what's coming is 200 feet down the lines and 300 to dead center. That's what's coming.
Well, yeah, because the commissioner wants home runs. He thinks that is the greatest play in baseball.
Yep.
And 200 down the line, hell, I could still do that, and I've got a bad back. Ralph could probably hit one straightaway center field over 300 feet. Come on.
I can.
Keon, you could hit home runs if it's 200 down the line. 240 to the gap.
240 to the gap.
Jeez.
Pop-up home runs.
Geez, I didn't get all of that one, but look at it. It's 15 rows deep.
It just cheapens the stuff from the past.
Well, and that's what's happening. You're cheapening the game. I mean, back in the past, God, these guys played in these cavernous, multi-use fields, the Polo Grounds in New York, where the outfield, one field was, 500 feet away, and the other one was like 186 or something. It was just crazy.
Right.
But these guys, they played in these big, giant, cavernous stadiums. And they have shortened the fields and shortened the fields and shortened the fences and made it so the offense is key. Offense is key, man. They're even talking about lowering the mound. You're taking another strategy away from the defense or from the pitcher.
It's just ridiculous. And I mean, if someone breaks Ricky Henderson's record of stolen bases, just put a giant fat asterisk next to that, because if Ricky Henderson played with these rules, nobody would touch the stolen base record.
No,
it would be impossible. It's already impossible.
Absolutely. Speaking of Ricky Henderson, LeBron James is going to be out tonight against the Timberwolves.
What?
He's got an ankle injury. Well, I was referencing one great player with another, right? I mean,
sorry,
okay.
the whiplash there.
Yeah.
I see
my
that.
neck.
Good connection.
Braun admits that he's pretty tired. It's hitting him and the Lakers after that whirlwind tournament in the middle of the season here. That in-season tournament is just taking it out of him. And now, because of that, he's got ankle tendonitis, and he needs to sit out. I mean, look, all due credit to LeBron James. He's been playing for how long now? Absolutely. His body is breaking down. Does he take care of his body? Absolutely. He takes care of his body. He invests. I read a report a couple of years ago that he spends more than $1 million a year just on the upcare and maintenance of his body. Training, nutrition. The best of physical care for his body. And I respect him for taking care of his body and taking the game seriously and wanting to come out and be fit and ready to play. And you look at him, he's a specimen of a man. I mean, it's amazing that he's still doing what he's doing. It's a testimony to how great he is and his talent in playing the game of basketball. But I mean, come on, man. We're talking to Commissioner of Baseball. Now we got to talk to the turtle, the alien. What are the guys calling him? The alien? The zombie? What are they calling him?
Well, all of the above. Just kind of all seems kind of accurate.
He looks dead, so
I call him the turtle.
If you pick any old monster movie villain, you basically just described Adam Silver in a different way. It's kind of all him.
I don't understand this in-season tournament. I do not understand it. I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't get what it's supposed to do. It's not going to generate viewership. It's not going to generate fans that are going to turn off football to watch the NBA play a meaningless tournament. It has no meaning whatsoever.
Well, I think
the champion of this league, of this in-season tournament, gets nothing but a trophy and a banner. Now, if you make it stand for something, that the winning team, well, then that conference gets home court advantage in the playoffs. Okay. I can see that.
I think what he was trying to do, it was create interesting, relevant games early in the season to get people more excited about the NBA in a time where people typically aren't that excited during those months. Did he accomplish that? Yeah, probably. I think people were interested in the tournament. There was some really good, intense basketball during that tournament, in the playoff part of it anyway, not during the regular part of it. But I think you're right. I think what they should do, if I'm Adam Silver, and God help me if I was, what I would do is I would say, if you win this tournament, you automatically are seated in the playoffs. You get a spot in the playoffs at the end of the year. That would be interesting. And that makes it really relevant.
So make the tournament mean something.
Yeah, I think you could do that. And that would make a lot of sense. So if the Lakers win, okay, now you automatically have a playoff spot. That would be cool. I like that.
I like that too, honestly. It adds some extra stakes to it. Because right in the tournament, the only teams that were really playing for anything was LeBron and his legacy. LeBron will just want to win anything that he can put on a resume. Mm-hmm. And the Pacers are the most underpaid team in basketball. And so surprise, surprise, the two teams met in the tournament final. But I think that the stakes have to be higher for fans. Like for players, yeah, I expect those guys to go out there and compete. If you slap a name on anything, I've seen these guys go out in these pro-am tournaments in the summer and play their butts off. So like they're competitive guys. But for the fans, having something like you automatically clinch a playoff spot, so you're still playing for seeding, but maybe you're already in. Don't even have to worry about the play-in game. If that's the range you're in, then we just bump you in. Fine. I can do that because like that adds some stakes to it now. Like your team, if you feel like you're a contender, is playing for something real.
Yeah.
LeBron's told ESPN it's a combination of everything. I mean, it's the emotional fatigue, it's the physical fatigue, it's the grind of the season fatigue. And when you're not winning, obviously that's the frustration fatigue. So a little combination of everything, end quote. Okay, so if this is something that is fatiguing these players, Indiana's not playing well. They were in the final of this play-in tournament or this mid-season tournament. And the Lakers are not playing well, 1-4 since winning the in-season tournament. And now if this happens again next year, doesn't the commissioner and the NBA have to look at this as maybe this is not a good thing? Maybe we need to come up with a different way of doing things here.
Especially since the game doesn't actually count and none of the stats in the game actually count. So
see, for me, it's another NBA All-Star lost weekend,
Yeah, in a sense, that's what it was.
I mean, except the game's better. That's the only difference.
Then cancel the All-Star break and give them a break during the middle of the season. Hell, F1, Formula One, they take a break in the middle of the season. It's like 2 weeks they're off.
I mean, how much better would it be if you just kind of fused some of the good parts of All-Star Weekend and then just got rid of the game because the game's useless, and then just did tournament weekend? You know, it's same idea. You'd still have the dunk contest. You still have the 3-point shootout. You just get rid of the one thing we can all agree stinks, which is the All-Star game isn't worth watching.
I still think like Major League Baseball, the NBA, I think the NFL does it right. Their All-Star game is after the season. It's before the Super Bowl. It's not in the middle of the season. And it is now it's been dumbed down so much. It's a flag football game. And then they've got some goofy, fun little events, you know, for fans to kind of go out and enjoy. It's not real football.
But that was hard to watch last year. That was
well, I
brutal.
mean, okay, yes, it's hard to watch. It's not
brutal.
a real football game. I get it.
I'd rather go back to the old way they were doing it. That last year was abysmal. I thought.
I didn't watch it. I don't remember.
Well, they have like
I didn't even bother.
Horrible.
They have it's a flag football game, which it's probably the best flag football game you'll ever see in your life because these guys are the greatest football players on the planet. However, they have like they've got dodgeball.
Yeah.
They have make a diving catch into a bunch of pads competition,
which is like a kind of slam dunk contest thing. Like how tricky can you get with it? And
they've got they've got races. Kareem could have not Kareem. Tyreek Hill could have won the race easily, but he didn't. Somebody else won the race. They didn't take it seriously.
Right.
So it's just sort of like a circus. It's just like a fan fest,
which I don't mind that. Just don't center the game. Don't act like the game is what anybody's there for.
Well, I mean, it's just like
not.
NBA in the middle of the season. If this is so hard, which I understand it is. It's a very, it's a very physically and mentally demanding league. I understand that. I get it.
See, I think baseball.
So don't do the All-Star game in the middle of the season. Do it after the end of the season. And have an all-star game,
But baseball did it right for years. I mean, they did it in the middle of the season, but it meant something.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
if you're going to have it in the middle of the season, make it mean something.
And they were good games. They weren't bad games. Those guys actually played. I mean, so I've always liked the way the MLB has done it.
And even though the NBA All-Star game has never meant anything, it used to be better. And like not that long ago. And then somewhere in the middle of I don't know, the 2010s, just the defense just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then you just had these games that they weren't even really watchable until you got to the fourth quarter, maybe. And then even then.
Last 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's awful basketball. Like if you're just a fan of the sport and you just like watching people play ball, like that is it's just hard to get excited for it. Like when I was a kid, like that used to be my favorite weekend. Just NBA All-Star Weekend. I was
All-Star Weekend was your favorite?
Everything about it. But part of it was like the games were better. This sucks.
Well, they played defense back then too, right? I mean, now it's like they look like the Phoenix Suns. There's no defense whatsoever.
Oh boy, I didn't say anything mean. I didn't say anything mean. And here you go with your smack talk about the Suns. I didn't say a damn thing, did I, Keon?
Didn't say anything.
I'm just saying, if the truth hurts, it hurts.
There's no truth in that statement.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, there might be a little.
Yeah, thank you. There's total truth in that statement. They should have Frank Vogel coach the West team because it'll be perfect for him. He doesn't know how to coach defense anyway, so perfect.
Big George on the text line at 888-368-1580. I'm hoping somebody in the Fourth Dimension has got something to say to you, Ralph. Boy. Hello, gentlemen. Happy Friday Eve. So I listened to the GCU game last night after the blender, and the one and only Michael Potter gave a shout out to Randy and Keon during the game broadcast. What a game, too. Nice win by GCU. I may have that Sanderson Ford Operation Santa Claus song stuck in my head now, but that was truly a fun game to listen to. Thanks, Big George. Yeah, GCU, the official station of GCU basketball all season long is right here on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. The Jets, Silver screwed up by making it a point making it a point to put the Lakers in the championship. Nobody wants to admit it because baby LeBron will be offended, but they got all the calls needed during their playing games along with during the tournament. And then they celebrated like they actually won something big. Silver has lost all my respect. Thank you, Jet.
That sounds like a boo-hoo Suns fan. Whatever.
Let's see. Swazman, it reminds me of the winner of the home run derby, then can't hit home runs to save his life during the rest of the season. I agree, Swazman. I hate all of these tournaments in the middle of the season. I hate this all-star break in the middle of the season. Walter Mellon says, Randy, LeBron complaining about something. What? Take it with a grain of salt. He's just trying to get some more attention. Well, I mean, isn't he always? I mean, that's what LeBron does.
I don't think he's complaining though. I mean, they just asked him like, what, what's going on with you? Because he's not playing tonight, and you ask a player when they're not playing why they're not playing, and he's fatigued. He was supposed to be on a minutes restriction this year, like playing around 30 minutes a game, 29, 30 minutes a game. He's averaging 38, 39 minutes a game. It's close to 40. So it's just, he's averaging 10 more minutes than he should have been playing in some of these games, but they need him.
Yeah, they have to have him in the game. So it's just part of the new NBA. It's part of the way it goes. Moist One says, Fish Tank says, isn't the flag football Pro Bowl now just the Olympic tryouts? I would agree with that. Except nobody's really trying. I mean,
if the effort they were giving in that is what they would do in the Olympics, don't go.
Cards Chappie. I can't believe you're saying this, Cards Chappie. I see you, Cards Chappie.
Oh, no. What has he done?
I'm not even going to read it. No. It's not worth reading on this radio station. Cards Chappie.
Boo.
You'll be getting a call from your mother later on, Cards Chappie.
Should be reading that.
We've got to be taking a break now. When we come back, it's some NFL football news before we get to our Harmon Solar fan pick'em picks in the 4:00 hour. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Ryan Eagle here from Thursday Night Football on Westwood One. Ryan Leaf and I are set for the Patriots and the Steelers from Pittsburgh this week. Mike Tomlin's squad still in the mix for an AFC playoff spot, but fell to 7-5 last week. Can they get back on the winning track against Ezekiel Elliott and the Patriots? Join us to find out on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
As the weather gets colder, the NFL offers Stay Hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. I like putting parlay bets together, hammering the overs, and anytime player touchdown bets always have me on the edge of my seat. So if you're ready to do the same, visit FanDuel.com/win and kick off the NFL season. That's FanDuel.com/win. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
21 plus and present in Arizona. First online real money wager, only $5 pregame money line wager required. First online real money wager, only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
You've heard the buzz about IT jobs in cybersecurity and AI, right? Why not prepare for a career in these fields and take advantage of the high demand? You could enjoy a more rewarding and recession-resistant lifestyle. Train in just a few short months at My Computer Career. No experience necessary. Already in IT? Skill up for positions employers need to fill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Frankie drives end-to-end, scoops it up and in with 2 seconds left. Frankie Collins, end-to-end. Join the action this season and catch USC, UCLA, Washington, and Arizona when they come to Desert Financial Arena in the final year of the Pac-12 Conference. Collins over to Lance for 3. Bullseye! Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball, onward to victory.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Greg Clark Automotive Specialist, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles for 44 years. And we're offering our fall inspection on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Also, our brake service inspection, recommended every year to prevent repairs and ensure top performance. For guaranteed family touch service, contact us at 602-246-2881. Highly rated by Google. Online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention the Fanatic to get 10% off.
Mom, where are my keys?
Why do I have to take out the garbage? I'm too sick to go to school. Quit hogging the bathroom.
If you're having a hard time living with all the noise, it's even harder to live without it. Fake pills with fentanyl are the #1 killer of youth in Arizona. Learn how to talk to your kids at talknowaz.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Get up in the morning, get out of my bed.
Wake up, Phoenix, to the best new morning sports show on radio. Join me, Tony D.
And me, Ron Culver, every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. right here on 1580 99.3, The Fanatic.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Daily Blender. If you're just tuning in, if not, you've been hanging around with the sexiest name in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. He's right there from Harmon Solar. It's Ralph, and I'm Randy White. Jeffrey O'Brien on assignment this week, and you got to be looking out because this weekend we have. Oh my God, we've got so much going on in the station. Of course, tonight at 5:30, it's Saints Rams in action on Thursday Night Football, which I think is going to be actually a good game because the Rams have been hot of late. Matthew Stafford has been good lately. Cooper Kupp has been good lately, so it looks like the Rams might be warming up at the right time. But the Saints are coming in hot off of their big victory over the – who am I fooling? The Saints beat the Giants. Who cares? That's tonight, 5:30, and then Saturday, Bengals Steelers at 2 p.m., followed by Bills at Chargers at 6. Speaking of the Chargers, Travis Kelce has a thought for who the new Chargers head coach should be. He said earlier this week that he does not want Bill Belichick entering the AFC West. He said on the New Heights podcast, the Chargers opening was brought up, and he said that the Chargers should not hire Bill Belichick. They should go out and hire some jabroni. Yeah. It's a direct quote there.
Well, I know who grew up watching the WWF.
Go out and hire some jabroni. And then he says people are saying Bill Belichick might be the front runner for the lead coaching role. So he said BB is going to be the front runner for any head coaching role, said Jason Kelce. I think everybody's going to want this guy. What do you think they should do for their next coach?
Don't you disagree with that? I mean, Bill Belichick, when he's done at New England, I think he's done coaching. Why would he want to do anything else? If he wants to come back as a GM or something, maybe, but why would he go back on the field as a head coach? He's done. He's proven everything he has to prove.
I agree, but I also just think that guy's wired weird. Like he just football is just the thing that he knows. I don't think he knows to do anything else. His off seasons, he fishes,
Yeah.
Then the season starts and he's back coaching. And that's the cycle of Bill Belichick's life. And it has been that for nearly 30 years.
I mean,
So
how old is he?
He is
In his
71. 71.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, come on. He's done. This is his last job. I don't see it.
He's actually younger than Nick Saban and Pete Carroll.
Yeah, no, I get it. But like when those guys are done, they're done too. They're not going anywhere else.
I think I agree with you, Ralph. I think that maybe Belichick needs to call it a career. He's got 8 rings.
I agree that he should. I just don't think he will.
I don't see him starting over somewhere. It doesn't make. You're 71 years old. You're going to start over. I mean, come on.
So, do you think that Bill Belichick is going to want to take over the New York or the the New York Chargers? That's a good one. I may be having a stroke. You think he's going to take over the Los Angeles Chargers?
Dean Spanos would like that.
Hell no.
I mean, this is a team that has no identity. This is a team that just was wandering in the wilderness under their last head coach. And Bill Belichick is going to have to come in, and he's going to have to bring in a whole new staff. He's going to want to call all the shots. He's going to want to be GM, just like he is right now in New England. And his Los Angeles Chargers, are they going to give – because is his contract up at the end of this season? I don't think so. So I think they would have to trade for him, wouldn't they?
Well, the Patriots could just fire him too. Like that's if they fire him, then no problem. You can just go get him. If nobody wants to trade for Bill Belichick, then they're going to have to fire him if they want to move on. And at that point, Bill gets that money and then gets to go somewhere else if he wants to.
Do you think Bill is going to last more than a year in Los Angeles?
No, and think about what he'd be risking. If he goes somewhere else and fails, now everybody's going to say the only reason you were successful there was Tom Brady. That's going to start being the talk. Why would you risk that?
I mean, that's the way that normal people think. I don't think Bill cares. Like he just doesn't strike me as that guy. He's doing his own thing. I don't think Bill Belichick is concerned with what the rest of us think at all. And if he feels like it would be interesting to go take over a team like the Chargers that already has talent on it, this is not a team like the Commanders, if or the Raiders when that job is available, or if the Bears job opens up where you're hunting for a quarterback. There's already one in the building. So now just take over.
He wasn't that good of a head coach coming into this thing.
Nope.
But he did take a team in the New England Patriots, and he did turn that team around and made them into a championship organization. Before Bill Belichick was in New England, that franchise was a laughingstock. Mm-hmm. That was just like where the Cardinals are right now. That organization, I mean, they would go in everywhere and just get beat up week after week.
Well, I mean, he knew how to draft. He did a great job drafting. He was great at player evaluation.
He
knew
not anymore.
Right, and he knew how to keep the team loaded and keep them loading and loading and loading. You don't have time for that. And you're right. You don't have time for that anymore. That would require another 10 years going somewhere. He might not be around in 10 years. I mean, don't wish the guy that, but I mean, you never know. I mean, he just needs to go right off into the sunset, get on his boat, and go fishing during the season. I mean, it's over. This is it, in my opinion.
I just can't see Bill Belichick going to the. As a matter of fact, I saw another report that the Chargers are actually interested in Harbaugh.
Yeah,
Jim Harbaugh.
That ship has sailed. I don't think he's leaving Michigan.
Now that they've been assessed a investigation.
Yeah,
I think they knew that was coming though. That's the thing is I think that they paid him because they all have sources inside the NCAA, which is one reason why it's so hard for the NCAA to actually punish anybody is because, I know exactly what the punishment is, a week before they officially send us the letter. So then I can make certain decisions like, okay, that's not going to be so bad. We're going to slap ourselves on the wrist, maybe, miss a postseason. Maybe if we ban ourselves, we don't have to do it for a couple of seasons. We can just get away with doing it for one. Like they already figured out all of this stuff. So if they paid Jim Harbaugh, to me, that says that they weren't worried with what the NCAA was going to do to them.
I just have to, I mean, first of all, For Kelsey to say, bring in some jabroni. Of course he wants some,
Well, yeah.
Some clown in there to run the Chargers. Of course he does. So that it's another team they don't have to worry about. Come on, man. Bring in some jabroni. I got no problem with him saying that.
Well, nobody has a problem with him saying that. That's exactly what everybody would want. Like every time,
everybody who's a Chiefs fan or a Chiefs player,
a coaching opening happens in the NFC West. If you're a Cardinals fan and it's one of the other three teams, you hope they get that absolutely wrong. Or if Ralph likes the Seahawks, if you're looking at the other three teams in that division, yeah, you hope they screw that up royally. That's just normal. For me, the perpetual motion machine of just the Giants hiring guy after guy that just can't coach. Nothing makes me happier on this earth.
Mr. Wilbur on the text line at 888-368-1580 says, Randy, please congratulate Ralph for me on LeBron James being named the greatest of all time for all the midseason tournaments that the NBA has had over the years. What an accomplishment.
I think it is. Good job.
Ralph is not a LeBron fan. I don't know.
I think Mr. Wilbur is seeing straight finally. He's got it.
That's a terrible joke, Ralph. I'm sorry, Mr. Wilbur. That was a terrible joke.
Wait, hold on. I know that's not you.
Ralph, that was just terrible.
Well, I've got
Mr.
Jeffrey
Wilbur
O'Brien right here telling me to say this stuff. So.
Oh, Jeffrey's right there, huh?
Yeah, he's across from me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The moist one on here we go again. Isn't LeBron taking games off to watch Bronny? Do they list that as load management?
No, that's just.
I could go so many directions with this.
DNP.
I could go so many different directions with this.
Oh boy,
let's hear it.
I'm moving on. No, I won't do it. See, now Jeffrey would say that, but I. Fighting Wampa says Belichick's a true historian of the game. Better believe he wants that coaching record for most wins. But what if he gets it? What's he, too shy? Too shy of the record?
He can get it this year, right?
He could still do it, right?
He could technically do it.
He won't.
Because he coaches the team that he built. So he will not be doing that.
Big George says, whoa, Randy, don't besmirch the great name of the Arizona Cardinals organization by comparing them to the pre-Bill Belichick New England Patriots. I wasn't doing that, Big George. I said the Arizona Cardinals right now. I didn't compare them to the New England Patriots. I didn't. And if I did, I didn't mean to. I do apologize, Big George. Beer Bob says, hold up there, Randy. The Patriots were in the thinky wheel. There it is. Hold up there, Randy. The Patriots were in the Super Bowl in the mid-'80s and in the mid-'90s before Belichick got up there.
So were the Bills. Are you arguing that at some point they weren't a joke? Like that's
Beer Bob. The Cardinals went to the Super Bowl too.
Yeah, it's just sometimes going there doesn't stop people from laughing at you if you don't actually win it.
Mr. Wilbur says, Ralph, good one. And just for that, I continue to love my solar. Swazman says, or Tennessee coach moving to Foxborough. Oh, I see what he's saying.
No, Vrabel?
Yeah.
Why, they give him everything in Nashville. What?
They say Vrabel is the new. I don't know. Well, that's it for hour one here on the Daily Blender on this Thursday. Coming up next hour, we're going to do all of our picks and our predictions. And then at 5 o'clock, it's Rosalie Michaels with your fantasy football questions on the Blender.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Last minute shopping? Ulta Beauty has everything I need for everyone on my list. Ready to gift fragrance kits from YSL and Valentino, and the hottest gift sets from MAC, Tarte, and Lancome. Plus, everyone loves an Ulta Beauty gift card. Shop last minute gifts that will bring joy to everyone on your list. Hurry in store or place your online pickup order today. Ulta Beauty, the possibilities are beautiful.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com, the golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When life gets overwhelming, but you just don't feel like talking, help is only a text away. Trained and caring crisis specialists are available by text 24/7 to assist with suicidal thoughts, substance use issues, depression, anxiety, and more. You are never alone. When you need help, please text HOPE to 4HOPE. From anywhere in Arizona, text the word HOPE to 44673. This message is sponsored by Solari Crisis and Human Services.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM. And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
And welcome everybody to the Thursday edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale, at the World Mega Complex of CRC Broadcasting. My name is Randy White. Right there, that's the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. And over there, warming the chair that's somewhere at Harmon Solar, it's Ralph Romano joining us here. Jeffrey O'Brien is on assignment. You are texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. And it's time for us to do our Harmon Solar fan pick'em picks for this week. So as I cough away here, sorry. Good night. Boy, it's good to be alive. Good to be alive. Hang on.
And that cough is committed.
Gonna bring you tears to your eyes, man.
I bet.
All right, let's start off with the biggest game of the week. The Commandos taking on the Giants.
What?
The Jets.
Wait,
Sunday, Christmas Eve, 11 a.m. in New Jersey. Keon, go ahead.
That's not the biggest game of the week. It's the worst game of the week. It's the worst game of the week. The Jets are the 32nd ranked offense. The Commanders are the 32nd ranked defense. This is quite literally the worst game that could have happened.
So what you're saying is this is going to be a good game.
It's going to be something.
32 versus 32.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to enjoy being alive Sunday. That's
no. Who are you picking in this game?
So anyway, I'm taking the Jets. Look, it's just,
ouch.
It's just when you can't stop anybody, you can't stop anybody. And Zach Wilson has shown, you give him a good enough matchup, and you're bad enough at defense, even he will beat you. And the Commanders aren't just bad enough at defense, they are the worst at defense. And you can go ahead and pick a stat category. If it's passing yards, well, they're the worst at that. If it's, against the run, they're the worst at that. Yards per game, worst at that. Points per game, worst at that. Like, there's no metric where they're not the worst defense. So, yeah, I can't take the Commanders over the Jets. I mean, as bad as the Jets have been, that would be absurd.
Ralph?
Do I have to pick this game?
No one should have to, but
okay, so I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know. I mean, this
it's just a bad game.
Yeah, it's a bad game. Either team could win this game.
It's a 4-10 team with the worst defense versus a 5-9 team with the worst offense.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you do?
You got a quarterback that can throw on the Washington side. You got a nice running back on the Jet side that they never use. I don't know. I guess I'll take the Commandos only because no reason really. I'm just going to take them.
Why not?
I went into my backyard and I picked up random rocks and I threw them in the sky and they fell. And I did a mathematical equation of what the rocks looked like when they fell. And after I did that, I took a nap. Once I awakened from my nap, because during my nap, I had a vision. I had a vision of Commandos overtaking the hill. And so as I woke up, I made my pick, and it was the Washington Commandos to win. That's how I came to my pick.
It's quite frankly as logical way of figuring this thing out as anything else. It's when you have a game this bad, there's almost no method of trying to guess. You're guessing that, you're guessing that you're not actually going through a series of numbers here because all the numbers for everybody are horrible. So at that point, you throw some rocks, do some math, figure it out. Why not? I'm honestly picking the Jets because that's what I want. I want the draft pick. Can't afford to have these wins. So I'm taking the Jets.
You already said that though.
Yeah.
Did you just want to do it again?
I'm just saying that's the method I chose to get to that conclusion. Just
wanted to underscore
step by step.
This week.
I started at step one and then got to the last step.
Let's go on to the next game. We like to pick our games first, so let's move on to the big matchup in Tennessee, where the Sea Chickens, off of that nothing but absolute, prayers and luck win over the Eagles.
Oh my gosh!
In the rain and all that business. And I thought Pete Carroll was. I thought he was going to have coronary right there on the. He tried to jump, and I thought for sure both of his hips were going to break. But listen, aside from that game, the Chickens are in Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. I'll start with you, Keon. What do you see in this? Sea Chickens versus Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks. I think the Titans are struggling, obviously, but also I don't know how good Will Levis is going to be. He's got an ankle injury. If he plays, he's not going to be 100%. And mobility is a part of his game. I think he's done a really good job of extending plays using his legs. You take that away from him, you make his life a whole lot harder. And if he doesn't play, then we get to go back to Ryan Tannehill, who last time we saw him, I don't even know what he was doing. He was just throwing passes into triple coverage. It didn't make any sense. I'm going to go with the Seahawks because I just think that the Titans, no matter what quarterback they roll out there, it's either unhealthy Will Levis or Ryan Tannehill. I just don't like that.
So I played cards with Miss Kim last night, and because I won twice, I went ahead and picked the Sea Chickens. That's how I came to that one. Ralph?
That made sense. Let me get this out of the way first. If you're an Eagle fan, suck it. All right. Hope you enjoyed that beating.
Wow.
Suck it.
Oh, that was a real beating.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
Wow.
Well,
getting beat by a backup quarterback and a rookie wide receiver.
That last drive anyway was delightful.
So Geno should be back this week, which is a good thing. Seattle needed that game last week. Hopefully that gets them going. They really need to win out, in my opinion, to get to 10 wins and secure a playoff spot. Why not? Let's do it. I mean, this is our toughest game. I don't know if maybe next week we got Pittsburgh, but I think they win this game. I don't see any scenario where they lose this game. I really don't. I don't think Tennessee's that good. They've been reeling a little bit. Seattle finally found it last week with all those backups in there, and they have been playing good. They just haven't been getting over the hump. I think Seattle gets it together even more this week, and this is going to be a stronger win for them. I see the Seahawks winning this game 10, 12 points.
All right, let's move on to the big matchup of the bird of prey, the mighty bird of prey, in the city of the shoulders, people with shoulders. What is it? What do they call that? The Windy City? They call it the big
Chicago,
big boulders. What do they call that? Anyway, who the hell cares?
I'm not sure what you're getting at. I wish I got the reference.
City of big shoulders or something. Who the hell cares? Anyway, all right, Ralph, I'll go to you. The Cardinals, the mighty fighting Cardinals of Arizona, against the Chicago Windy City Bears.
Yeah. I think that what wins this game for the Bears is their defense. I think they have a pretty good defense. I think they have a good enough defense to definitely give the Cardinals fits and to knock Little Boy down a lot. So I think it's going to hurt them.
Calls him Little Boy.
Little Boy, yeah. I think their offense can find a way to score on a pretty bad Cardinal defense. And if you're the Cardinals, you want to lose this game. I mean, the last thing in the world you want to do is get a fourth win and hurt your standing in the draft. So I'm going to take the Bears. I think the Bears are just a better team today right now than the Cardinals are. The Cardinals just aren't very good, and they haven't been playing very good. And I don't see them winning this game. So I'm going to take the Bears.
All right, Keon, go ahead.
I'm actually kind of interested in watching this game because it's two of the better rushing teams in the NFL. Cardinals are 7th, Bears are 5th. But yeah, I agree with Ralph. I think that the Bears are in a better spot right now. Their defense is really, really good. They are second in the league in interceptions. They have 6 sacks for Montez Sweat since they got him. Yeah. So that puts him around 12 this season. He's having a hell of a year. And I think that the Bears do a really good job of hanging on to the football. They have very long drives, and that keeps the ball away from other teams. You keep Kyler Murray off the field, you keep that offense off the field. That means that Kyler Murray is going to have to be a whole lot more efficient with his drives, and that really hasn't been the case since he's been back. So I'm going to go with the Bears.
All right, so let me just give you the Reader's Digest condensed version here. Cardinals win 72-4. Kyler Murray throws 6 touchdown passes in the first quarter.
Wow.
It'll be over by halfway through the second quarter. The Bears won't even suit up for the second half, and they'll just call the game, and that's how that's going to happen. 888-368-1580 is the text line before we move on to the next one, because Mr. Wilbur says, can I steal a page out of Jeffrey's book, and can we have the next segment or two dedicated to the best second-string quarterback in the National Football League? My nomination is for Drew Lock. My answer is no.
Absolutely, we should.
Hefty Lefty says 2 safeties for the Bears. Yes, 2 safeties for the Bears. It's the only way they're going to score anything. Yeah, that's it. You're exactly right. All right, on to the next game here on the NFL Harvard Solar Fan Pick'em. Truly one of the great games that I think is happening this weekend. The amazing Blue Horseshoes visiting the grief-stricken Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta Sunday, Christmas Eve, 11 a.m. All right, Ralph, go ahead. Who you got, Indy or the Falcones?
What I don't have is an amazing game.
Oh, it's going to be. Are you kidding me? Brilliant.
Yeah, I don't see that.
8-6, and the greatest quarterback to ever stand on a field, Gardner Dan Minshew, going up against the Atlanta Falcones. You kidding me?
Yeah.
This is poetry in motion right here.
I'll be doing something else besides watching this game. But anyway,
literally anything else.
Yeah, anything else.
Watching paint dry, grass grow, something.
It doesn't count. Wash your hands when you're done. Anyway,
I mean, Atlanta they're very frustrating. I hate.
I'll say they are.
I hate the way they've been using Bijan. I mean, it pisses me off how they use Bijan Robinson, and just I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. They're just terrible. Their coach is horrendous. The Colts should go in there and win this game, I would think. Yeah. I mean, that's what should happen. Will it? I have no idea, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Colts because that's what should exactly happen. But watch, this will be the week that this Falcons figure it out and do what they're supposed to do, but I don't think so. I'm going Colts.
Well, my pick is going to be Gardner Minshew. Almost every time I see his name, I get the shivers. Anyway, go ahead. Colts win. Go ahead, Keon.
Yeah, I'm going with the Colts as well. Atlanta, 6-8 in the worst division in football. And like there are things about the Colts that are actually really good. They're really good at scoring a lot of points. I don't know how every week, but they're top 10 in the league at doing it. And good for them. And it's also possible that they might be able to get some guys back from injury as well. So good for them. I also agree with Ralph. I think it's weird that the Falcons can't just give the ball to Bijan Robinson and just let him carry you. Only 7 carries last week. That's ridiculous. It almost seems like Arthur Smith is trying to get fired. I don't understand what other way to make that happen. Also, the Colts are 3rd in the league in sacks. Like they just get after the quarterback, and who can't get rid of the football? Oh, it's Desmond Ridder. So here we are again with a guy that's basically just going to be a traffic cone back there. He's going to get sacked a bunch.
No, Desmond Ritter's out. It's Tyler Heineke.
Oh, Taylor Heineke, who
does
he gets sacked less, but he doesn't have the arm strength. This is actually not an improvement. They already benched Ridder for Heineke and then benched Heineke to go back to Ridder. Look, this is a bad football team in every sense of the word. The Colts are beating them, and that's the end of that.
Big George on the text line says, wow, what a shock. Ralph picked the Seahawks to win. Ralph always picks the Seahawks to win. I have mixed feelings because my father-in-law is a huge Seahawks fan, and I want them to do well. But, man, I can't stand Ralph's arrogance.
They're playing the Colts, or they're playing the Titans, Big George.
No, that's Big George, too. I mean, if you piss off Big George.
The Titans are bad.
Wow.
Big George, are you picking the Titans?
I don't know anybody that's upset Big George like this.
And you don't want to upset your father-in-law. I don't know what you're thinking. I mean, you need to kiss that butt. I mean, right? He's a Seahawks fan.
Why? He's already got his daughter. I mean,
it doesn't mean he's gonna keep her. So I mean, you better get a tattoo of the Seahawks on your back, on your big hairy back.
So Swazman says Bears hat for my brother-in-law, Cardinals hat for my mom, Randy. I think the Bears are going to pull a beatdown on Christmas Eve. No.
Yeah.
No, Swazman, I think you have it wrong. You've got the teams inverted there. You got the teams and also don't you understand that your mom is always right. Keep that in mind. Hefty Lefty says Falcons will win because I chose the Colts. Think he will. I chose the Colts, currently 0-14, picking Falcon games. Well, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so every time he chooses against the Falcons, they do the opposite thing. So
Thundar, the Santa Barbarian, says, Randy, I think someone changed your meds without telling you. I can see the Cards beating the Bears, but that score prediction makes me think you're indulging too much in a blissful haze.
Wow.
Thank you, Thundar, the Sundar, the Santa Barbarian. Thank you. All right, let's continue on here with the game that's happening on Christmas Eve at 2:30 in the afternoon. The Bengals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you think, Keon, about this game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what more to think. I think we're getting another week of Trubisky, so yay.
I thought Mason Rudolph was starting. My head hurts, Rudolph.
Oh, that's right. No, I did see that. No, Mason Rudolph is getting the start.
That's better.
Yeah, it changes, quite frankly, less than nothing about the outcome of that.
I think Mason Rudolph
game.
only plays when it's not against the Browns. That's the only team he can't play
against.
Just
this awful collection of quarterbacks on this roster. They're just swapping them out so quickly. I can't even keep track of all of them. But here's the thing. If you want to just see what the Steelers are bad at, if you guessed just about everything, you'd be right. I mean, they're really good at keeping teams from scoring a bunch of points. So they end up in low-scoring games that they can compete in, but they still struggle to win those games because they themselves cannot score. And we talked about how, the Jets were the last ranked offense. The Steelers are like 28th or 27th in like every category. It's it's horrible. And I don't think it gets better when you have Mason Rudolph out there and George Pickens, who apparently doesn't want to block for people.
Bench his ass. And sit down, Pickens.
All of those things, which I don't know if you heard what the running back said. He was like, I would have blocked for him, but I guess we play different. So, so anyway, a little tension in that locker room as well. Meanwhile, Jake Browning's played pretty well. He knows how to get the ball to these receivers that are going out there making plays for him. Even if he's not great, the Bengals are going to win if he's pretty good.
All right, Ralph, what do you say? Bengals at Pittsburgh.
I mean, the only positive I could find about the Steelers was that they're 3-1 division, and that's it. What Keon said, there's a lot of weirdness going on there. There's a lot of issues in the locker room from what I'm reading. They have injuries. Their safeties are going to be gone due to injury or even suspension. I mean, they're just full of problems. And you know what? It's time to be a Jake Browning believer. He's playing really well. Yeah. This could be my Gardner Minshew. Because I feel that Jake Browning is legit. I mean, he's done everything asked of him. He's looked good doing it, and he's winning. So how could you not be a believer? It's time to believe in Jake Browning.
I'm a person I tend to wait and see for a long time before I make a decision. But I give him his credit: 208 yards a game, 7 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. He's taking care of the football. He's making big plays. I know he doesn't have Jamar Chase this week,
right? He doesn't need him.
But he's got a bunch of other receivers. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
He doesn't need him.
And just because of that, I'm going to go ahead and take the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game as well. When we come back, we'll continue our Harmon Solar fan pick'em picks on the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you're like most people, you've had your fair share of financial questions. Questions like, can I afford my son's travel hockey team? What if my daughter doesn't get that soccer scholarship? Will I be able to enjoy golf in retirement? At Empower, we know these questions can be stressful. We're here to help answer your what ifs and empower what's next. Join 18 million Americans and take control of your financial future. Start today at empower.com. Sponsored by Empower Personal Wealth.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, a lot of us play fantasy football this time of year, and it's fun. But what you should be playing is fantasy electric bills. What's that? It's where you get with Harmon Solar, and they save you over 80% off your electric bill every month. Then, each time you open up that bill, you're going to feel like you just won a championship. Call Harmon Solar today. Get a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Grand Canyon University basketball is back for another exciting season. After advancing to March Madness in 2 of his 3 seasons as the head coach, Bryce Drew brings a team to the court this season, picked to win the conference once again, and led by first-team All-WAC selection Gabe McLaughlin and WAC preseason Player of the Year Ray Harrison. Check out the schedule at gculopes.com to find matchups with San Francisco, DePaul, Liberty, and last year's national championship runner-up, the San Diego State Aztecs. Join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long right here on The Fanatic, the home of Lopes basketball.
It is the Daily Blender here on Thursday, December 21st, as we continue rolling towards 5:30 tonight. Don't forget 5 o'clock. The Fantasy Girl is going to be online, and she's going to help you with your fantasy football picks. That is, if you're still playing. Some of us are in the playoffs. The other ones are in the consolation bracket at this point, just for, just for the, so you don't end up last. But hey, listen, have no fear. If you're in I've been in the consolation bracket almost every year I play. I think this is the first year I've ever made the playoffs. I think. I may have made it once before, but I usually am in the consolation bracket. So don't feel bad. Keep trying. And I'm really sorry, Ralph, that you're in the consolation bracket.
Wow. Well, I shouldn't be, because you should have never beaten me in that one game.
Well, I did, and
it happened.
Under the bridge.
It's not really. So I'm still there under that bridge with you. But anyway, I'll let it go.
Not at the bridge anymore.
If I wouldn't have left 60 points on my bench last week, I would have won and be playing you.
Oh man, who did you leave?
I left Kenneth Walker.
Ooh,
I was 20 something there. I should have started Goff and I didn't.
Damn, that's
Goff had
bad.
43 points. And there was one other. Oh, and I don't know. She's running back. But anyway, I should have won, and you should be playing me. And really, we should just make that happen. I don't know why we just don't change it. Jeffrey changes everything in the back end anyway.
I think that's twice I beat you this year, isn't it? Didn't I? Sweep you
No,
this year?
I beat you.
You beat me. Are you sure about that?
Oh, of course.
No, I don't believe that. Big George is on the text line at 888-368-1580 and says, Ralph, are you a Drew Luck believer too?
Am I a Drew Lock believer?
He said Luck.
He meant Lock. Again,
I'm pretty sure he meant Luck.
No, he's in San Diego. He's got his brain being fried right now. But let the homeless people go. Anyway, I like him a lot. I just think he's a great kid. I think he, is he playing at his best? Of course not. That was his first or second game in we So I'm really happy for him, and I think it was awesome what happened for him. If he had the opportunity to in and out, every day to come in and be the guy, I think he could be a pretty good quarterback. We don't know that right now. Someone has to give him a shot. He's not going to get it with Seattle. He's just not. So
Pickle D says, my concern with the Bengals is that they are one of those teams that can't do anything offensively when one player is out. With Chase not playing this week, history has shown they won't be able to move the ball. But T. Higgins is still there, right?
Yeah.
And Mixon is still in, right?
He is.
They'll be fine.
I think I guess it does change the way the defense is going to play them, right? I mean, with Jamar Chase being out. Swave Dave, Ralph quit complaining, was happy and excited to make the Premier League this year and thought I would compete well. I got my butt whooped by every other team at least once and won only 2 games, but I'm in the playoffs in my other league. Good for you.
He didn't beat me, did he?
Swave Dave.
Hopefully I beat him.
Fish Tank says Dolphins Cowboys is game of the week. Okay, some of these Fish Tanks, some of these will be jokes.
2 teams that are on their way down. Yeah, that's a good game.
Wow.
I mean,
on your way down from 10-4 is probably still going to get you in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, but they're both teams that are going in the wrong direction. I mean, of course, Fish Tank's got one of them, so good for you. But they're both going in the wrong direction.
I mean, Dolphins have won 4 of the last 5. I would,
It's the wrong direction, Keon. Stay with me.
They didn't even lose the last one they played.
Keon, I need you to stop going to the facts.
Shut out a team there.
Right.
Quit using facts, Keon.
Right.
Damn it. Just listen to me.
Just listen and you'll be all right.
Of course I'm right. My name's Ralph.
Right. Fish Tank has got a bad team.
In fact, they've both won 4.
Look, Keon, damn it.
All right, let's continue with our picks. If you two are done,
we're done.
Yeah, we're
barking at each other. All right. Buffalo at the Los Angeles Chargers. Look, Chargers have no chance here. Buffalo wins. Anybody against that?
No.
All right. So we'll just move on. Buffalo wins that game. Buffalo is playing good.
Even if they weren't.
I just wish that these talking heads on TV would quit naming them Super Bowl contenders, because they're 8-6, guys. Everybody pump your brakes.
Well, contender
on the Buffalo Bills.
Contender just means you can win it, not that you're going to. And I think that the Bills can. Like, if
we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah,
but you don't want to play the Bills in the playoffs.
They're in a good position to do it. The last 3 games for the Bills they played Philly and lost a close one, 37-34. Back-to-back wins. Kansas City, they beat them, and then Dallas. I mean, those are those are 3 playoff teams in a row, but 2 of them they beat them.
I don't mean to sound rude, but Dallas, I still am not on the Dallas train. The D train, as far as I'm concerned, the D train, like Ralph said, is going to the bottom of the ocean again this year. So
facts.
I just can't do that. All right, let's move on to Christmas Eve, and here on the big flamethrower, first game of the day, Browns at Texans. This was a rough one for me, guys. I know. Okay. I know they've got an old quarterback and an old Joe touchdown in Cleveland, but the Texans, they're selling out. Everybody's on fire. They've got a really good defense over there. CJ's not going to play, from what I can understand at this point, at least. Don't you have to go Browns here?
Yeah. I mean, they're the 2 teams that are really doing a great job of having their backup come in and support their defense pretty well, but it just favors the Browns. I also think the Browns defense is a whole lot more complete. DeMeco Ryans has done an incredible job in Houston, but I think this is his first year. Like, they just need to get more of his guys in there before this defense becomes the really scary monster it can be. Cleveland's in a good spot. and Joe Flacco is good enough to win this game in particular. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Browns. I think that's a clear choice.
Ralph?
Yeah, to take a page from your book, Joe freaking Flacco, right? That's why they're going to win.
That's in my book.
He's the ultimate backup. I mean,
that's your terminology.
That's
I see.
your terminology for Gardner Minshew.
Damn Minshew.
Right. So Joe freaking Flacco. No, and he's not the reason they're going to win. They're going to win because that defense is so good. And Houston hasn't played a team with this kind of defense yet, and they're going to get slammed by that defense. I just don't think is it Case Keenum that's going to play for the Texans probably? I mean, he's not going to move the ball against that defense.
I don't think so. The Browns have the number one defense in terms of total yards against them per game and the number one defense for passing yards in particular. Like good luck.
Exactly. So
you just can't throw it on them.
Houston's not going to be able to do a dang thing on them. They're not going to maybe 3 points, 6 points. I'm going to definitely say that Houston's going to get beat bad.
All right, that's 11 a.m. Cleveland at Houston on Christmas Eve. The next game of the day, starting at 2:05, is Jacksonville visiting Tampa Bay. What do you think after Baker, the touchdown maker, had his perfect quarterback rating last week? They were going to get him like a $200 million extension and, sign him to, a 20-year extension. And this is the second coming of Tom Brady and all this business. I don't know. Ralph, give us the facts here. Is Baker really that good, or is Jacksonville going to win this game? Because they need to keep in pace to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, I can't give facts because nobody believes my facts, so I'm going to let that go.
Well, they have to be true first.
Keon, you're talking again, Keon. Got to stop. All right. So no,
I hear his heart breaking right here on the radio.
I'm going to take Jacksonville because kitties are better than pirates. I mean, no, I'm kidding. I like Jacksonville. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a bigger game this week. Mayfield's a joke. He's not going to do what he did last week. I think Jacksonville will have no problem moving the ball on Tampa's defense. I think they'll do a good job here against them. I just don't see Tampa winning this game. I think Tampa's part of a really bad division. They're lucky to be where they are at 7-7. This is a big game for Jacksonville. Jacksonville needs this win. I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Tampa Bay is also at 7-7, and they need to win this game, or New Orleans will go up on them in that division. What do you got, Keon? Are you going to take Jacksonville, or are you going to take the Pirates?
Baker's been really solid this year. He's had a 24 touchdown, 8 interception year. I mean, that's a pretty solid year. If you got that for most quarterbacks, you'd be happy. But the thing is, you get the great games from Baker. You also get the really bad games. His ceiling, very high. His floor is in hell. It's awful. And so like the worst of Baker Mayfield, that's the reason why they're 7-7. He's got the games where he plays well, they play well, they win. He doesn't play well, they lose. And that's kind of the way it goes. But their defense is really bad against the pass. I mean, both of these defenses are honestly, but the Bucks are worse. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are a top 10 passing offense. And I think that's a horrible matchup for them. So going to go with the Jags as well.
All right. So I'm going to take Jacksonville as well. I think that Tracy Lawrence is tougher than anybody knows. And I think he's going to clear concussion protocol, even though he wasn't in practice today. And I'm sorry. Okay. Baker, the touchdown maker, had a good game last week, but I think Jacksonville is overall a better team than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next game on the docket. Unfortunately, we don't get it here on the radio station, but it is indeed, Fish Tank, I think the game of the week. Miami versus Dallas from Miami. We've got time to do this. So, Keon, I'll start with you. Who you taking in the matchup of these two mega giants in the NFL?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Dallas. I think that I don't believe that Dallas is this incredibly powerful team or anything like that, but I know what their ceiling is, and I believe that that's a real thing that they could do. It's just, it's not a consistent thing. They don't play at that level every single week, which is why it's hard to trust them. But I just think that defense is really good, and I struggle with their offense sometimes, but Dak's been good as well, and him and CeeDee Lamb are on a wavelength that seems unreal right now. I don't know. Do you know if the Dolphins have a Tyreek back? I hadn't seen any.
Right now, Tyreek has not practiced, and
okay.
I don't know if he's listed as questionable or doubtful.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like if you take away Tyreek Hill, are the Dolphins still a really good team? Yes, they obviously showed that last week. But are they a really good team going up against this defense? I don't think so. And they've struggled against other top teams as well. And that's while they were 100%. I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
All right, Ralph.
Yeah. This pains me too, but I mean, I don't like either one of these teams for a lot of reasons. I don't like their fans, especially the ones who listen to this show. But
wow,
we'll get past that.
Seems deeply personal here.
Yeah, it's a little personal. But as far as the Cowboys, what are they at? The 6th ranked offense, 6th ranked defense. Questions on the Dolphins as far as their defense. Questions on Tyreek Hill. You got to take the Cowboys. I mean, they are the better team. They're both playing well, according to some people on this show, but I disagree. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick the Cowboys. I just feel like they're better built for this game, and they're going to beat the Dolphins.
I think that Miami's at home. I think they're on a stretch. I think Tua's been playing pretty good this year. I think Jalen Waddle has also proven that he can play in this league. And I'm still not convinced Tyreek's not going to be in the game. I mean, he came back in the game where he hurt his leg, and he played pretty damn well. I'm taking Miami as the hometown favorite to win that game. All right. Wow. When we come back, we're going to get more of your texts off of 888-368-1580. We're going to look at some more games, give you our predictions of them. And don't forget, Rosalie Michaels, the fantasy girl, at 5 o'clock to answer your fantasy football questions. This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
80% of youth in Arizona don't drink, smoke, or use drugs. Want to know the reason why? It's you. Kids say not disappointing their parents is one of the main reasons they choose not to drink or use drugs. Visit TalkNowAZ.com because while you might worry you aren't getting through, you are. Keep it up and stay up to date about the latest Arizona drug trends at TalkNowAZ.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30-50-70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit IQannuity.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? Ken Barkley here, one of the hosts of You Better You Bet. Be sure to check out our show for all the insight on how to make valuable bets and everything you need to cash those tickets. Weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. We got lots of activity this weekend. Of course, tonight at 5:30 over most of these same radio stations. Saints at Rams. Then Saturday, Bengals at Steelers at 2. Bills at Chargers at 6. Sunday, Christmas Eve, it's the Browns at Texans at 10:30 a.m. And then the Patriots at Broncos at 5:30 p.m. Then on Christmas Day, it's a triple dip of the NFL when Raiders are at the Chiefs at 10:30, Giants at Eagles at 2, and Ravens at 49ers at 6. That Giants-Eagles game. You know, guys, with the Eagles having lost now and lost in the fashion they did in Seattle, and the Giants have nothing to lose here. I mean, that could be a good game. I mean, the Giants could come out of nowhere and steal one in Philly. Philly,
that'd be tough.
It would be hilarious, and I promise you,
chucking snowballs at Santa Claus. We're going to be throwing snowballs.
If the Giants somehow beat the Eagles, if you just perk your ears up, you will hear me laughing from wherever I am.
Wow.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
All right.
I think this Giants offense is, well, it's awful. I mean, the only offense worse than theirs is the other team that plays in New York.
All right. So let's get back to it. We've got more Harmon Solar fan pick'em picks to make here on the big radio station. And I got to tell you that these picks down the stretch here, they're going to be fun to listen to. Before we do that, wow, look at that. Pickle D on the text line says, just to be clear, I'm still picking the Bengals because, well, they're playing the Steelers. Might be an ugly low-scoring game, though. Yeah. Thundar, the Santa Barbarian, says, I think my team had something to do with the results of our game in the Premier League last weekend, Ralph. Not confident with this week's matchup against Randy, though. 2 of my 3 receivers are out, and the scrubs I've picked up to start in their place, well, they don't leave me feeling good about my chances. Hang in there, Thundar, the Santa Barbarian. Kaler the Quitter? What? 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 Kaler the Quitter? Randy, no one circles the wagons like a team barely making the playoffs. Did you make it, Kaler? You made the playoffs? Big George says, Randy, mention that part where you said, thinking will, where you said the Dallas Cowboys are going down and sinking fast when Rosalie's on the air. She's a big Dallas Cowboys fan. You don't have to remind me of that, George. I know she is a big, giant Dallas Cowboy fan. Fish Tank says, I think Ralph just doesn't like the Sonnets. Think he will. We've really got to get a new program here. I really think that Ralph doesn't like the sonnets I've written about him. P.S. I'm taking the Cowboys too. We'll mess this up.
Actually, I do like him. I think you have a lot of talent when it comes to that stuff. And I'll give you that credit. I just think your team sucks.
Damn. All right. Have we've already talked Browns and Texans, right? Do we need to talk about Patriots and Broncos? It's in Denver.
I mean, what is there to say?
Christmas Eve.
Broncos and move on.
I mean,
so you're taking the Broncos, Rob?
Yeah. How do you not take
them? Yeah. I mean, the Broncos. First off, it's hard to look at Broncos stats because the first half of the year was so bad that it's actually pulling down the stuff that's been much better lately. But yeah, I mean, the Broncos are the better team here, and the Patriots are hard to watch. It doesn't matter. It's another one of these games where the quarterback for that team doesn't matter. It means nothing. The team is bad, and it could be Zappy, it could be Jones. It changes absolutely zero.
Could be Bill's son, the tongue guy that is always on the sidelines.
And I wouldn't know because I won't be watching. But yeah, I mean, the Broncos are the much better team here, which is kind of tough to say because like they're still up and down too.
All right, so if you want to, you can hear that on the big flamethrower on Christmas Eve, 6:15 is game time. Next up, it's Christmas Day football. We've got a triple header for you. The Raiders are going to be in Kansas City to take on Mahomes, Kelsey, Taylor Swift, and the whole Chiefs fandom. Who are we picking in this one, guys?
Yeah, it's the Chiefs. I know the suspense. It was killing you, but it's the Chiefs.
Ralph,
is it just me or are the Chiefs really whiny this year? Are you guys feeling that? Like they're complaining. Like, Mahomes never complains the way he's been complaining this year. It's just annoying.
I don't know. I mean, Mahomes had the game, obviously the game where he lost his mind.
Mhm.
And then outside of that, I mean, he was ripping Kadarius Toney, which I would have done too. I personally am not a fan of Kadarius Toney. I have never liked him. I didn't like him before he was drafted. I didn't like him after he was drafted. And now that he's the Chief, I still don't like him. Like receivers that are inconsistent with effort, I just can't. It kills me. And
Keon, Kadarius Toney on line 1 for you.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you catch? Like that's any particular reason why passes are hitting you in your hands and they turn into interceptions?
Don't give him the address of the studio.
Yeah, as long as he's on the phone, I'll tell him that. If Kadarius Toney knows where I am.
Calling from the parking lot, he told me.
From the parking lot. Look, I'm actually not even here. You should come back tomorrow when I won't be here.
I'm going to take the Chiefs. By the way, I hate the Chiefs. I think they're not the best team in the AFC anymore, which is nice. But I'll take them. They're going to win this game.
All right, Keon.
Yeah, their defense is still great. And the offense, as bad as it's looked, it's still a top 3 offense.
Man, I wish the Raiders
top 10 offense.
I wish the Raiders would get it together because I'd really love to pick the Raiders in some of these games. I just can't do it on this one. Kansas City wins. They're at home, and it's playoff time, so these guys are not going to let up. All right, moving on to the next one, a second of 3 on Christmas Day. The New York Giants are in Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Anybody taking the Giants in this?
No.
Can we just move on from this
Not
one?
even Giant fans are taking Giants. So
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean-
so it's all right. All right. So moving on to the game of the night on Christmas Day. Christmas night, 6:15 is kickoff. And you'll get to hear all the action here live on the Big Flamethrower. Baltimore in Santa Rosa taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Look, for me, this is the toughest game to pick this week. Number one, I think Baltimore's been playing well. I think both quarterbacks are amazing, and I think both of them should be mentioned in the MVP race. This is San Francisco at home, but I did see something that might sway me to go Baltimore in this. They're kind of taking it personal that they're the underdogs instead of this being a push. They're kind of angry about the fact that everybody's calling them the underdogs in San Francisco's home stadium. So, Ken, I'll start with you. Who are you going with here, 49ers or the Ravens?
I'm going to go with the Ravens. I like the playmaking ability of Lamar Jackson. He's played really well in some of their bigger games this year. The offense just seems, it's weird because it's not as explosive as it used to be, but it's more balanced. They can beat you in more ways than they used to, and they don't do it by having Lamar run every play anymore. So he's just not taking the hits that he used to take. He's healthier. He looks fresher. And this is the point in the year we usually lose Lamar, and we don't. We still have him, and he's been awesome. That and Mark Andrews went down, and I thought that was going to be a major problem. Isaiah Likely looks like he's up to the job. I'm very impressed by that. I'm also impressed by the fact that the actual best defense, and it's by 0.6 of a point, but the actual best defense in terms of points per game allowed is the Ravens defense. They are a complete defense, and it's not a bunch of names you may necessarily know, but they play complementary football. The front end of that defense, that defensive line, and the back end and the secondary, they complement each other really well. Those defensive linemen get home, they get sacks, they get pressure, and then you throw a duck out there. Secondary's taking that one back, and you just don't want to give Lamar Jackson that many opportunities.
Yeah.
I know how loaded the Niners are, so I'm not going to necessarily talk about that again. But if you just want to talk about one guy can break this game wide open, it's Lamar Jackson. So I'm going to ride with them.
Okay. Ralph?
I mean, this very well could be the preview of the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, Raven Kid, relax, calm down, don't get ahead of yourself. But I
It's
had
Ralph
to say
versus the AFC this week. It's
I don't think Raven Kid listens when Jeffrey's not here, so go ahead.
Oh yeah, I don't blame him.
Oh no.
Thanks, Ralph.
I didn't mean it that way.
Good having you here as well. Keon, go ahead and turn off Ralph's mic, and we'll just continue on with the show.
Wow. Yeah, I take that back, Randy. Anyway,
It's
when I
one of those
realized
situations
when I
when
realized
you're-
what I said,
Yeah.
I went, oh shoot, that was wrong.
your mouth went faster than your brain did.
Yeah.
And it happens to the best of us.
So anyway, but this could be the preview of the Super Bowl. It's very possible.
Yeah.
Two teams that are playing really good ball. You know, everyone, you think you're going to say, hey, the Niners at home, blah, blah, blah. You got to take the Niners. The more I'm thinking about this game, the more I'm looking at it, I keep seeing Lamar Jackson having just this breakout amazing game where he's going to have to use his feet a little bit against this defense, and he can, and we know it. He's just had a phenomenal year. He's looked really good. I think the Ravens find a way to win this game. I really do. I hate to do this because, you know, I feel about Raven Kid, but I'm going to take the Ravens. I just think the Ravens win this game. I think they're going to knock the mighty Niners down.
I think that the 49ers have one coming just to kind of they need to suffer some sort of a tough loss like this. I don't think they've done that this year. And I think this could be the game. And it doesn't mean that I am disrespecting the San Francisco 49ers. What I'm saying is I think Ralph's right. And I was talking to Keon about this yesterday off the air. This could very well be the Super Bowl that we're going to see. And we get to preview of it right here in this game. And it's on Christmas night. And like I told you, I was reading that little article, I think it was online, where the Ravens are taking it personal that they are considered the underdogs. Personally, I think this should be a push. If I'm Las Vegas, I'm not making the Ravens an underdog. I'm making this game a push, and I'm not going to touch it. But in this case, I think because of what I was reading, because of what you guys said about Lamar, I've watched him all year. It seems like he's turning it on at the right time. And I think this is going to be a good opportunity for San Francisco to become bulletproof if that's a possibility. They have to be they've got to be strengthened by fire, and I think this could be one of those games. So give me Baltimore in a close game on Christmas night. Guys, did we talk about New Orleans and the Rams? I wanted to talk about that last.
We didn't.
Okay, so we've got time because I went into the last break a little early. All right. So the game you're going to hear tonight on this very radio station coming up at 5:30, the New Orleans Saints are 7-7, and they're heading into Los Angeles to the $5 billion SoFi Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Rams, who, quite frankly, as of late, have been playing some really good football. And Matthew Stafford doesn't seem to be hampered by any nagging injury. Of course, you never know. He doesn't talk about it. But the Rams at Saints tonight, I'll start with you, Ralph. What is your prediction on this game?
I mean, the Saints come in winning 2 in a row, big wins, but against two, right? Two really bad teams. I think the Giants and the Panthers.
Yeah.
You look at the Rams, they've won 4 out of 5. Best ball they've been playing in probably 2 years. I mean, they've got it all going right now. It's starting to click as they go toward the playoffs, which they're probably going to be in the playoffs. I think this is easy. I think the Rams win this game. They win it going away. I don't think the Saints are as good as they've looked the last 2 weeks because of the competition, and they're brought back down to earth this week against the Rams. So I'm going to take the Rams.
All right, Keon?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Ralph talked about the 2 games that the Saints won. I look at the 3 weeks before that where it was just loss, and it was to bad football teams. Okay, they lost to the Lions. That's a good football team, but they lost to the Falcons and they lost to the Vikings. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you're a team that thinks that you can go to the playoffs and make some noise, which they absolutely can because their division is awful. Matthew Stafford, last couple of weeks, he's been dealing. I mean, he looks like, Super Bowl run Matthew Stafford, the guy that's out there. The confidence seems like it's back. The no-look passes are here. So I'm going to roll with Stafford and the Rams because I just think their offense is ultimately better and their defense is not bad. I understand that the Saints have a very good defense, but the Rams have a solid defense. They have a solid offense. They're the more well-rounded team. And if Matthew Stafford's not going to make mistakes, I think it's a pretty easy call.
I think the Rams are in a good spot right now. I think Matthew Stafford, like I said, is feeling good. He's not being hampered by any small nagging injuries. And so Give me the Rams to win this game. I agree with you, Ralph. I think that New Orleans is not as big as they think they are, and they're just about to get found out on national TV and radio here in just about an hour or so. Give me the Rams. They'll take that. So just another face in the crowd says, hey, Randy, I thought Tracy Lawrence is a country singer. No. So Stacy Lawrence is what I said. And other than that, no, I'm speaking of because he has that beautiful shiny hair that he has. Gee, your hair smells terrific hair. That's why I call him that. Other than that, he's pretty tough. He's a pretty tough dude. Let's see. Lacrosse guy says Dallas sucks on the road. Good pick, Randy. Oh, thank you. Finally, someone says something good about me. Let's see.
1 point game, by the way.
Hey,
as far as the spread goes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
Dolphins favored by 1.
All right.
So that could probably be a pick 'em by game time.
No kidding, right?
Yeah.
All right. So the last one on the text line here is where are we at here? Hefty Lefty, you think 3 losses in a row would have been what the 49ers needed to stay focused? Yeah, I think I think they need an emotional loss. You know what I mean? Like it seems like they're kind of riding pretty high right now. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You see these teams that they're good, they know they're good. Yeah, they have a couple of losses, but this is like December. It doesn't matter what happened in, October or November. What happens in December is that's what fortifies you as a playoff contender or a Super Bowl team. And I think if Baltimore were to win this game, it could be what really solidifies the 49ers moving forward. It will wake them up and make them think a little bit, hey, we are not invincible. We are able to be beat. So we better refocus here.
And I think that there are actually, excuses for those 3 other losses. You didn't have Trent Williams and you didn't have Debo. Well, that does change the math on this.
Mm-hmm.
When they're healthy, you lose when you're healthy. Yeah, you have to sit back and really reconsider what your team is like.
T-Licious on the text line at 888-368-1580 says the Ravens can be pissed all they want. After the Niners beat their ass, they won't wonder why they're underdogs. Very well, T-Licious. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you very much.
I really think the Ravens are going to go in there and punch them right in the face. I really do. I said this is going to be that game. This game feels that way for some reason. Just what you're saying, Randy.
Like a stunner, and they might probably. I don't think they might. I think they will. I think they'll come back and make it a tight game. I don't think the Ravens are going to go in and pound them down by like 35 or something. I think this is going to be a 28-26 game, 28-21, something like that. I don't know.
I feel like it's going to be that Niner Dallas game, and I think they're going to be on the Dallas side.
Wow. Okay.
That's what I think. I mean, did you expect that outcome in that game? Probably not, right?
No.
You thought it'd be a lot closer, tougher game, and I just feel this game has that making.
Wow. Keon, your thoughts?
Yeah, it feels like to me, it's going to be a grind. It's just these defenses are so good. You would be asking a lot of anybody to score lots of points on either defense. And I just think that when it comes down to that, then, who's going to make the most big plays? If I look at the quarterbacks, I just like what Lamar Jackson can do. And if Lamar starts using his legs a little bit more in this game, that's going to make things really, really frustrating for the Niners because it's been frustrating for everybody. I mean, you're watching defensive players just throw their arms up in frustration when he runs and picks up a first down. Right. They had everything else covered, but he still gets the first.
The play that comes to my mind is that how Lamar got out of that sack last week against Jacksonville and then threw a pass where it absolutely had to be between 2 defenders where only his guy could get it and bring it down.
He's been doing some stuff that reminds me of Stafford. He's like changing his arm angles, and he's been crazy.
Yeah. All right, Rosalie Michaels is right around the corner. She is the fantasy girl, and she can help you win your games. So get on the text line right now at 888-368-1580 and get your fantasy football questions in. You better do it quick because Rosalie's only got about a half hour. So do we. That's 2 hours down, a half hour to go. And this is the Daily Blender on the Big Flamethrower 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. We'll see you right around the corner.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. The holiday season should remind us that faith and family are the most important things in life. And we hope that you succeed in coming together this holiday season with those you love and in the process creating some generational memories. Holidays have this magical power to magnify small things to ever greater memories over time. What a return on investment. Happy holidays.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Phoenix area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
Paid for by Cordell & Cordell.
Does anyone feel like life is busier than ever, especially with the holidays? I'm a planner and try to think of it all. But what about the unexpected? Now I've got that covered. My husband and I finally got life insurance with Select Quote, and I couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with Select Quote same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. This holiday season, I feel a little lighter, knowing my family is protected and ready for whatever the new year throws our way. Call Select Quote at 1-800-675-8181. That's 1-800-675-8181. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-675-8181. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
There's a reason why conventional healthcare is referred to as practicing medicine. Hi, this is Dr. Hannah Lindsay. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. I regularly see patients with a variety of acute and chronic health conditions, including many autoimmune and rheumatological diseases. We can restore pain-free joint function and balance immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and overall well-being. We emphasize natural and holistic interventions with lifestyle changes and take advantage of the full palette of care options from traditional remedies to modern science. We collaborate with experts in a wide range of health disciplines, including physical therapists and specialist physicians, referring patients as needed to ensure the most effective care possible. So how about a second opinion on your health? You might just end up feeling like yourself again. Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161, or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Greg Clark Automotive Specialist, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles for 44 years. And we're offering our fall inspection on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Also, our brake service inspection, recommended every year to prevent repairs and ensure top performance. For guaranteed family touch service, contact us at 602-246-2881. Highly rated by Google. Online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention the Fanatic to get 10% off.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time. Time
for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Welcome, everybody, to the third. Well, I guess it'd be like a half hour of the Daily Blender on this Thursday. I am Randy White, right over there. Sitting next to me across town is that's Keon Rose, the sexiest man in Sports Talk Radio. Ralph Romano from Harmon Solar has joined us graciously on the show. Jeffrey O'Brien is on assignment until next week. And joining us this hour, she is the fantasy girl. Rosalie Michaels is joining us here on the Daily Blender. Rosalie, there you are.
Randy, how are you?
Hey, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. I'm sorry that my two cohorts here today, they're not in the playoffs. However, I am in the playoffs. So wow.
That's really all that matters, isn't it?
Yeah. And I don't think Jeffrey's in the playoffs either. But
no, did he lose last week? I was not keeping up. So
I beat him last week.
That's how you do it, Randy. That's how
I feel
you
so
do it.
bad though. I feel bad.
No, you don't.
You can't feel
every
bad.
time I play one of you guys, I feel just sick. I want to lose. I don't want to win. So
really,
oh yeah, no, seriously,
I don't
no.
buy that.
I mean, I
Well,
give
you
you
know
a
what?
hard
You're
time,
not
Ralph,
playing
because
any
you
of
always
us
give
this
me a
week,
hard
right?
time. So
okay.
No, I don't know why.
Recording stopped.
I think I'm playing Thundar, the Santa Barbarian.
Well, you know what, Randy? Let's take that barbarian down.
I will tell the listeners, get your fantasy football questions in. We have a short time, 28 minutes, and we have a break in there somewhere. So get your questions in. If you need some help, Rosalie Michaels is here to save the day. 888-368-1580 as we start the process. Now, Keon, you have a game though, right, Keon?
I do.
You have any help that you want to ask Rosalie about? This is awkward. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, it's not that awkward. The game is still happening. It's not a playoff game.
But just go ahead.
It's a consolation bracket game, but it's still a game, and I would still like to win it.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's
right.
pride.
If-
There's pride on the line.
If there's gonna be a score and my name next to it, then I'd like the score that wins to be mine.
You'd like the higher score to be yours. Yeah.
I mean, I can. Anyway, let's just get to the point here.
Yes.
I got to choose a running back of these three. I got Kamara, Breece Hall, and Kenneth Walker. Where should I go with this?
Well, Kenneth Walker is not looking so hot in terms of starting. So, he is questionable against Tennessee. So I keep an eye on him, but I like Kamara tonight. I like him a lot. Yeah, the Rams don't put up the Rams don't allow a lot of fantasy points to the running back position, but for Kamara, he's not your typical running back. I expect him to get a good amount of pass catching in this game. And the over under on this game is something that I'm going to target because it's 46. And so it's one of the higher score totals for the week. So I definitely want to have a piece in here. And I like the fact that, with Kamara, he's so multifaceted. They will have Chris Olave back. So I'm sure we'll be seeing some attempts go to him as well. But I like Kamara of those three for you.
All right. Keon, are you complete there? You're done?
Well, okay. So one more question. Tight
All right.
end.
One more for Keon.
Which is a bizarre problem to have, Dallas Goedert or Taysom Hill. Because sometimes Taysom Hill goes crazy. And when Dallas Goedert is healthy, he's capable of doing it. But for some reason, the guy that's on my bench is the one that always does it. Who do you think is going to be the one this time so that I can actually put him in the lineup?
So in this case, what's your inclination and go the opposite way? No, I'm just kidding. But
I've tried that one. Doesn't work. The universe knows which one. I can't outsmart it.
Which one? It knows which one in your heart, right? I'm still gonna. You know what? I get the Phillies for me. The Eagles for me. Philly, the Eagles for me. They've been so kind of up in the air. Again, this is a divisional matchup. They tend to do better in divisional matchups. The Giants let up a lot of points to opposing teams. With Goddard, how much is he? It's kind of hard. There may not be a Devontae Smith in this game. He is questionable. So that makes me think that maybe Goddard's going to get a little bit more love. Taysom Hill is hard to sit, though, because he's just such a multifaceted tool. And again, I do like the over-under in that game. But I think if you're starting Kamara, I would go the opposite direction, right? You don't want to start two Saints in this game. So start Kamara, start Goddard, and I think you're spreading your love a little bit more evenly there. If you didn't have Kamara, I'd say start Taysom Hill. Because you do want something in this game, but I like Kamara over Hill.
All right. Ralph Romano from Harmon Solar. You have a question for the fantasy girl?
Well, I'm very bitter right now, but I'll still ask. I'm bitter because I left 60 points on my bench last week, so that just makes me
sorry, I wasn't around last week.
Yeah,
so
darn. So I blame you 100%. But anyway,
you should.
Well,
you absolutely should. It's clearly my fault.
I'll take that. Thank you. I have Breece Hall and Bijan Robinson, and that's been my conundrum, right? I had them both out there last week, and they got me 2 points. So I have Hall, Robinson, and I have Pacheco. What two of those three do I start?
Okay, so you have to start 2 out of the 3 is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think you definitely start Brees Hall. I mean, it's the Reds. I'm sorry, it's the Commanders. I still mess up in that, in almost calling them their former names. So, but with the Commanders, their defense is just terrible. They let up the most amount of points in general to opposing offenses. Sixth most in terms of running backs, and there's probably going to be a Trevor Siemian in there again. So I think they're going to try to run the ball more than they're not. So I like Brees Hall there. With Bijan, there is, I think he is questionable. So I'm remembering what I saw earlier. Is Bijan questionable? Let me just recheck that. Nope. But Taylor Heineke is back. So I like Bijan Robinson as well this week against Indy. I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity. It's a great matchup for him. So you definitely want to start Bijan. With Atlanta, they mix it up still with Cordarrelle. They mix it up still with Tyler back there as well. But I still think Bijan is the guy. And who was your third choice there?
Pacheco.
I think with Pacheco, it's a decent thing, but I think your other two are better for you. I think we're going to see Patrick throwing the ball a lot this week versus Las Vegas. So
could you talk more about how bad the Commandos are? Because I was enjoying watching Keon's face.
It was very awkward.
I know.
The only thing
is just so bad.
It's awful. And the only thing I know on Sundays is pain and suffering. So yeah.
Hey, you know what? I've been doing the prize picks, and that's been a little bit of fun. So have you tried that, Keon?
I have not. What's the deal with the prize picks again? I kind of.
So and I came close. So with I use Underdog Fantasy and use that for the prize picks essentially. So you place $5, and if you get 5 of your essentially their player picks, right? So if you get 5 of them, you can do 2 or more, and I always do 5 because if you place 5, you bet $5, you win $100.
Wow,
so
that's pretty nice.
Good. Yeah, pretty good. And I got 4 out of 5 this past week.
Oh, close.
Mike Evans, I missed Mike Evans by 1 reception. So,
ouch.
By 1 reception, yeah. So if you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw I put my picks out there. Asked for, who do you think my lock is? Who do you think my weak point is? And I really did think Mike Evans was going to be my weak point there. I needed 6 receptions out of him. And I should have gone with Godwin instead. So that's been a lot of fun on a Sunday. If your team is terrible, it's a good time. So try that, Keon. Maybe it'll work out better for you.
I will, because right now I'm a Commanders fan, and that's why I drink.
Mm-hmm. That's a good reason.
That's one reason is why he drinks.
Yeah.
Let's go to let's go to the fourth dimension on the text line 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says T. Higgins or Saquon in the flex.
I'm going to go Saquon. I knew that with Chase out, a lot of people are going to go Higgins, but the matchup with him, Porter's going to be shadowing him, and Porter's been really, really good. So give me Saquon over T. Higgins.
How about Achane or Addison in a different flex?
Achane is also he has a toe injury, and so he's still questionable. So I like Achane if he plays. Mostert also did not practice, but he is probable. So I like Achane if he plays. That game is going to be good with the Cowboys. It's actually the highest over under, considering that the defenses are pretty decent, but it's going to be a high point scoring game. So I like Achane, otherwise Addison.
All right. Last question, Likely or Goddard at tight end?
Likely. Go Likely. He's getting a lot of targets. Again, with that, I think it is going to be a high-scoring game. Yes, it's San Francisco. Yes, it's going to be a difficult defense to go against. But OBJ is questionable. Zay Flowers is questionable. So I expect Likely to get a lot of targets.
All right, next one from Swave Dave. Rosalie, would you play Jalen Hurts or Jared Goff this week?
Oh, wow. You always have to play Hurts. Again, with Philly, it's a plus matchup in terms of the amount of points that are allowed by the Giants. So I'm going Hurts over Goff.
And what about the Kansas City defense or the Buffalo defense?
Oh, Kansas City defense or the Buffalo defense. Let me look at that one real quick and see which one I like better. You got to go Buffalo against the Chargers just because, I mean, the starting
Chargers.
quarterback. Yeah. So you got to go Buffalo there.
All right. Swazman says, Merry Christmas, Rosalie. I made it to the semifinals. I put Justin Fields in at quarterback, but I also have Jay Love and Bengals second stringer. Plus, I dropped CJ Stroud for the Tampa Bay kicker, if you can believe that. What's your opinion?
On what?
I'm right there with you.
on what?
He dropped CJ Stroud for a kicker, and
yeah, I mean you have to because he's not going to be there for you. For the rest of the season.
Justin Fields in at quarterback.
Yeah,
I guess here it is. This is okay. I found it. I've done some digging now. I put Justin Fields in at quarterback. But I also have Jordan Love and Bengals second stringer. I think he means what's his name?
He's Browning.
Yeah, Browning.
He's talking about Browning. So he's wondering if he should start Fields, Browning, or Love. Is that the question?
Yes.
Okay. So it's hard not to start Fields against the Cardinals. They do let up the second most points to opposing offenses. They do let up the eighth most fantasy points to the QB position, the most fantasy points to running backs, which Justin Fields is going to get stuff done on the ground as well. Cole Kmet was limited. Mooney is questionable, but he's still got some. He still has DJ Moore, and he still has his own legs. So I do really like Justin Fields a lot. With Jordan Love against Carolina is terrible offensively, but actually defensively they let up the least amount of fantasy points to QBs. So I'm not going to go that direction over Justin Fields. And I expect that Cincinnati and Pittsburgh game to be pretty low scoring again. He doesn't have Chase. T. Higgins is going to be shadowed by Porter. So, I like Fields out of those three.
And there you go, Swazman. Last Optimist is on the line and says Gus Edwards or Aaron Jones?
Gus Edwards or Aaron Jones? You're playing Aaron Jones if he plays. Because, again, I said their defense is pretty good except against the run. So if Aaron Jones is playing, you're going Aaron Jones.
All right, Screaming Eagle, before we go to break here, Screaming Eagle, good afternoon, everyone, and our famous fantasy football expert, Rosalie. In the flex position, Ty Chandler, Zay Flowers, or Taysom Hill. Thank you very so much, and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. If Flowers plays, again, he is questionable, so you're going to have to keep an eye on him. I do like him. They're going to have to throw the ball a lot. It's going to be a high-scoring game against San Francisco. This is what I think could be our Super Bowl preview between the Ravens and the 49ers. So it was Chandler, it was Flowers. Who was the third one there?
Oh, geez. Now you want me to go back. Taysom Hill.
That's my fault. Oh, Taysom Hill. And again, with Hill tonight, I like him. So I think your best bet there is Taysom Hill, just because he's going to be involved in some way. So, and you're going to have to play him tonight if you do. So I'm going to go Hill simply because of that.
All right, we've got to take a break. When we come back, we've got about 12 minutes left with Rosalie. So get on the text line at 888-368-1580. We've got a bunch of texters waiting out there in the fourth dimension. We'll get back to it as soon as we can. This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One. NFL Week 14 kicks off with Thursday AFC action when the Steelers host the Patriots. Pittsburgh dropped to 7-5 last week, but still have playoff expectations, while the Patriots are hoping to break a 5-game losing streak. Ian Eagle and Ryan Leaf will have the call on air and on the free live stream sponsored by AutoZone on Thursday Night Football.
Right here on 1580, The Fanatic.
O'Reilly.
Cleaning your fuel system can help your engine run better and improve gas mileage. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts and pick up a bottle of Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner. On sale now. Buy one, get one free. Plus, get 2 times O-Rewards points. Get more fuel-saving tips from the professional parts people at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional grade supplies for every industry, even hard to find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah.
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
Almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep. Just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. You know, the Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen the high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
Greg Clark Automotive Specialist, located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles for 44 years. And we're offering our fall inspection on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Also, our brake service inspection, recommended every year to prevent repairs and ensure top performance. For guaranteed family touch service, contact us at 602-246-2881. Highly rated by Google. Online at GregClarkAutomotive.com. Mention the Fanatic to get 10% off.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun. We bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Thursday Daily Blender as we are rolling towards 5:30 and Thursday Night Football. We've got Rosalie Michaels joining us here, the fantasy girl, and lots of people on the text line at 888-368-1580. So let's enter the lightning zone. Everything's got to be fast and quick. So here we go. We'll start with Killer Rabbit. Need help. 1, Aaron Jones, Singletary, or Javante with the mighty Broncos.
Mighty Broncos.
That's just what Killer Rabbit did. I don't know.
Again, again, I do like Aaron Jones if he plays, if not Singletary.
Dr. Danger. That'd be fun. Dr. Danger says, Happy holidays, Rosalie. Should I start Stafford or Fields?
Oh, I'd still go Fields over Stafford for this week.
T-Bone is asking what quarterback, Brock or Falco? I think he means Flacco.
He definitely means Flacco, and I definitely mean Purdy. Do not do Flacco over Purdy.
Brock Purdy over Falco. Dirk
Falco.
Commissar. Let's see. Donnie says Ty Chandler or Jacoby Myers. And would you sit Eckler over Kenneth Walker?
Chandler over Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker again is questionable, so keep an eye on him. And it was Chandler over Jacoby Myers, I think you said, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. So I'm not loving Ty Chandler this week. It's a tough matchup against Detroit. They're very, very good against the run. They let up the least amount of fantasy points. So I'm going to go Jacoby. It's not a great matchup for them against KC either. And, but I think he's going to have more opportunity than Chandler will. And I know Chandler had a great game last week, but I'm going Myers over Chandler. And then the other one was Walker over who? Sorry.
Eckler.
Gosh, it's sad that's, oh, excuse me, even a question. Oh my goodness. But I'm still going, oh my God, I'm dying here. Walker is questionable, so I'm going Eckler over Walker. And I think that he's going to have a good game here in order for the Chargers to not completely be shut out.
Okay. Badfish says, which 2 should I start of the 4? Ready?
Okay, ready. Let's go.
R. White, Etienne, K. Walker, or J. Gibbs?
Etienne, Walker, or Gibbs. Just one he needs of this?
Which 2 should I start of the
2.
4? R. White.
I'm going Rashad White and Jahmyr Gibbs.
There you go. That's good, Badfish. There it is. Hamilton Porter, Taysom Hill, or Hawkinson?
Hill or Hawkinson? Hawkinson. You just, with the amount of targets Hawk gets, you can't not play him. So go Hawk.
T-Licious says, Merry Christmas, Rosalie. Which quarterback, Fields or Baker?
Oh, everybody's on the Baker train after last week, aren't they? How about that? It is a great matchup for him. I think he is going to throw the ball a lot. I do like Fields this week, but I'm going to go Baker over Fields.
Oh, boy. There it is. Baker over Fields. Bala 51 is asking, need help picking 2 wide receivers out of these 4? Puka, Robinson, Ridley, or G. Wilson?
Ridley or Garrett Wilson. And he's what did he say? How many does he need?
He needs 2 out of the 4.
Got it. You got to start Puka. Puka is a must start all the time. Yes, I know Cooper Kupp's finally getting some love, as he should be, but you got to start Puka all the time. Ridley and the last one that he said, I know that intrigues me. What was that again? It was sorry.
That was Tealish. No, that was Bala 51.
Nope. Sorry. I was writing and I missed the last one.
2 wide receivers. 2 wide receivers out of the 4. Puka, Robinson, Ridley, or Wilson?
Oh, you know what? I'm not going to trust Garrett Wilson. I like Ridley over Wilson there. So Puka and Ridley.
Puka and Ridley. I hope you have that answer. So there. It looks like maybe a new texter, 8568, says Godwin or Puka.
Oh, Godwin has been getting a lot of love, and it's a great matchup for him. So I do like Godwin quite a bit. I always like Godwin, though. He's such a great player. Doesn't get the amount of love that he needs to. So Puka gets a lot, but I'm going Godwin over Puka.
Thunder the Santa Barbarian says, Should I start Joshua Palmer, Khalil Shakir, or Parker Washington from my tattered and shredded receiver
Oh
core?
my gosh. Wow. I'm gonna go Shakir just because it's the better offense. So I can't trust anybody on the Chargers that is not Austin Eckler, and even him I don't trust that much. So I'm going Shakir.
Let's see here. Big George wants to ask you, should he start the Buffalo defense against the lowly Chargers or the New York Jets against the lowly Commanders?
You're
Ouch.
doing the Buffalo defense.
Doing the Buffalo defense, Big George. And I will apologize to Keon for you. Bala 51 is asking, needs some running back help. As soon as the thinky wheels. Oh, here he goes. Need running back help, as well as which one would you sit out of Mixon, Bijan, or Swift?
Mixon, Bijan, or Swift?
Yes.
I'm not sitting Swift. I'm just not going to do it. I like him this week against the Giants. So it's between Bijan and Mixon. Mixon, I'm not a huge fan of ever. Bijan, I already said that I do like him. He's got a good matchup this week. So I'm sitting Mixon of those three.
Okay. Big George is also back on the text line and says, thanks, Rosalie. I appreciate it. And yes, apologies to Keon for my commentary about the Commandos. All right. So now that I have worked through the text line, can you believe it? We did it, Rosalie. And nobody is sitting here. I'm going to ask one of mine.
Okay.
And this is going to be a stunner. I hope you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm going to look at your.
I have Brock Purdy or Lamar Jackson.
I knew you were going to ask that. You're going Lamar on here, and only because of one reason. Yeah, Baltimore's defense is really good. San Francisco's defense is also very good, but Purdy is not quite as swift and efficient on his feet. You're going to get running yards out of Lamar that you're not going to get out of Purdy. I love Purdy. Big fan, huge fan. So if his parents are out there listening, huge fan. But I'm going Lamar over Brock Purdy. It's a tough one. Purdy's been really, really good. I think this is going to be a little bit of a challenge for him. Obviously, if you have CMC, he's a great start because they're going to score points, and that's the way they're going to do it. And it's weird when you look at it because Brock Purdy actually has more fantasy points than Lamar Jackson does on the year. So
she's Rosalie Michaels, and you can get her on the Z or X or whatever it is. What at Rosalie Michaels? Is that what it is? What is it?
That's what it is. That's exactly right.
There it is. All right. Good luck, everybody. Thursday Night Football is up next over most of these same stations. See you tomorrow at 3. Bye.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet.